Cool. Okay, we'll get.
Damn! Okay, like just 10 minutes ago it showed me 3 hours, now it's showing me 2 hours. What the fuck, laptop?
Yup. That's Windows, boy.
What the fuck?
Well, we'll see. How
Don't
that
worry.
goes.
Don't worry. It'll jump up to 4 hours again in 5 minutes.
Yeah, whatever.
But trying to put it in power saving mode also.
Yeah,
Well,
I did.
Then I guess let's get on cracking, because my mouse just stopped working.
Yeah, it's definitely a day of WTF.
Yeah, okay. I have a touchpad, so it's fine. Let me open up my notes because I refreshed in the meantime.
Is Matt here?
Yeah, he is.
Mhm.
Of course he's here.
Just checking.
He's blind?
He's not said anything.
He said hello.
Did he? I didn't hear.
Matt?
I did not say hello. I've just been sitting here silent for the past 5 minutes.
I was like, I didn't hear a hello.
And I was waiting to play a narrator sound clip, but you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely didn't hear a hello. But there we go. Everybody's here.
Well, okay, so we kicked off last session towards the afternoon of the 11th of Myrtle. Still on the 11th of Myrtle. I want to point out we went for 4 sessions on the 11th of Myrtle. So we were still on the 11th of Myrtle.
One session lasting an entire 26 seconds. But
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
let's move on.
Amazing, yeah. When our intrepid adventurers gathered once
Hello, friendly mother.
Yes. Gathered at the foot of the imposing Trisanda Manor, Lana and Kit were already present, accompanied by the company of goblins and the red bread villain, whose life Alana had saved, and then Andy, Ripper, and Asilian joined them, descending from the ruins' upper reaches through the southeastern passage that they came out from. While waiting for them, however, Ilana and Kit shared a few fleeting moments of talking to each other, checking on each other, and Ilana checking whether she can carry anything, because Kit was literally dragging not only a full sack of books, but also a chest full of things under her arms. Very impressive for a 3-foot cat.
But she was fine, just to add.
Either way, it was quickly noticed that Narcillin is not doing great. And as dusk settled, the party retreated into the Sleeping Giant Inn to tend to their wounds and to count their spoils and to set up the goblins and river and all that. Elana departed briefly to relay their triumph to the townsfolk and to Darren to let them know everything is safe. And leaving Narcillian, Andy, and Kit to divide their newfound wealth amidst, the other stuff they diluted, or managed to get out of, actually, before the fire got too strong. And Andy sorted through the spoils and divided them into very neat piles. And by the time Ilana returned, the town was already breaking out into celebration. And then you divided the coin. Ilana cast detect magic on the items. There were some scrolls, 2 books, and the ornate sword and the potions that glowed magically. And Ilana pointed this out to the rest of the group. By the way, in your party treasure,
the 2 books also glowed because the locks were magical.
Yeah, they said the 2 books, yeah.
Okay, but it was the locks that were glowing, not the books
themselves. The books themselves, actually.
Oh,
this
has changed. Okay.
Well, yeah, not the locks. That was your own thing that you added. Either way, I added a picture of the sword. If you look into the description of the sword on your party sheet, so you can actually know what it looks like, because it's very pretty. Also, Lena, if you may, please, roll me a history check. DC 15.
Ooh. It's only a DC 15, so don't flump it. I had advantage on the roll and I failed.
Okay, let's see.
Good luck, by the way.
Oh, that was almost a 7.
Okay,
let's go.
So I will also send you some additional things on the sword that Andy has remembered in the meantime.
If Lana got upgraded.
Yeah, Lana's not a history buff, by the way. She tells the stories, but it's purely
Plus
for a
plus four is a history buff to me.
There you go.
+4 is like, I just know shit.
Either way, where was I? Session notes.
Picture on the sword.
Picture of the sword. Yeah, I did a picture of the sword. Ba, 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 ba. Sword. Yeah, okay. So, meanwhile, Willem took over apparently cooking and showing some surprising culinary skills. And while dinner was brewing, Ilana actually went away, conjured some unseen servants, and started to clean one of the inn's bed chambers to prepare it for Lion.
Mm-hmm.
And then rejoined them for dinner. And then once you guys have eaten, you kind of like sit down during dinner, like after dinner, talking about like thoughts about the future, charting your course amidst, the murmurs and yelps and celebration exclamations from the goblins in the background who also got food. And then basically once night descended proper, Ilana like pointed the room out to Marcillian, and
There was a brief conversation between Andy and Lion before that.
Yeah.
Just about them both checking in on each other emotionally and seeing where they were and kind of I didn't write it down because Alana wasn't present.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yes.
With basically mostly them checking on each other and
emotionally.
Andy offering maybe like a screaming venting session at some point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lion trying to push a little bit about how Andy was feeling, but she was
but also not being really in a good state of do that, to be fair.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
So
only a little bit
equal
of
level of messed up.
it was left at that and just offered if you want to talk, where to find me.
Either way, like you kind of like all split off into your own little directions.
We all investigated the houses after.
Yeah, and it was a bit chaotic, but like more or less, like you kind of got like found that you have like additional houses next to the Sleeping Giant Inn that had like that the Redbirds were using, and Kid actually grabbed the biggest bedroom with the biggest bed as hers. That was like, that's my nest done.
Yeah.
Which then left.
Proceeded to sleep somewhere else.
Yeah, but well, no, we're not there yet. Don't jump ahead. Because she initially picked a room in the inn, which then Andy took over. And Andy kind of like separated herself out as well at the end of the night.
Pox take it over?
No.
No, Pox took the other one over, the one that Kid left.
Oh yeah. Pox took over the Kid one.
Yeah.
And Andy took the one next.
In the middle.
Yeah, the one next to it. Yeah.
Lying
Sure.
at the one on the end.
Either way, Andy spent some time in quiet contemplation in her chosen bedroom. Amidst her pages and her new tome that she got. She offered Ilana to share the room, but Ilana was like, nah, I'll find my own thing. Ilana went then to check on the inn one more time. And she
had sleeping arrangements then went to sleep with Darren.
You want to take it all over from
here? No, I should point out I didn't sleep with Darren. Slept out.
I was going to say wording.
No, yeah.
Darren sacrificed his bed and slept on the floor.
Yeah, but in the before she actually left for that, Kit already had gone away to join the town celebrations.
Kit tried to convince us to join the celebration.
Oh yeah. She was like, let's party. And everyone was like, we're dying.
Yeah, dying, exhausted, mentally exhausted.
And then Kit just basically, I'd go party, and then went party.
Kit instigated a cunning Mission Impossible.
Sure, we're not there yet. Ilana then went to Darren's, had like a very long conversation till midnight, went to sleep. Kit was partying hard, or so it seems, with Quilleen, and then they basically departed in that direction. And last Quilleen had seen was Kit kind of crawling into the hayloft, and then we start the dum dum da dum 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 da dum dum because Kit then snuck across the entire town while everyone else was celebrating or asleep or like dead, passed out. And broke into the town hall and snuck downstairs to where Glassstaff and the other Red Brand were held. Put out the candle.
Hello?
And-
Someone there.
Yeah. And
Must have been the wind.
yeah. And then once he kind of calmed down again, she went in, stabbed him, cut his throat before he could even make a sound.
I like the fact she's just like full on stabbed.
Yeah.
First. It's like, take that. Oh, you're not Ted across the throat. I'll finish you off then.
Without even waking up the other Red Brand at all. And then carving with ink and a knife the symbol of a black spider into his chest to leave like what could only be imagined the signature of the black spider. It could be, because you've never seen it.
No one knows.
No one knows. She didn't quite manage to lock the cell again.
She scratched it too.
She scratched it too, but it's fine. It looks like somebody broke in and stabbed him. So like, whatever. She made her escape without any traces of her presence whatsoever.
No fur balls left
Yeah,
behind.
went back to the hayloft. Yeah, she like Matt, like full on red, like CSI wrapping up my fur, like no DNA on the scene of crime.
Yeah.
You're so lucky nobody has speak to dead in the town at all.
Yet.
Oh,
Let's just say some bodies might be reinterrogated later.
Um,
But it's not like Glassstaff would know. It was pitch black, he's human, he had no vision.
oh yeah, he has
just died.
somebody stabbed him.
Someone stabbed him and cut his
So,
throat
yeah,
and he
yeah.
died.
Either way, Keaton went back to the hayloft and then came out the next morning. And rejoined basically the others once they had already reconvened. Ilana was actually the first one to show up again, go check on Lion. Then Andy woke up hearing them.
Brought water to clean his wounds. Mm.
They were kind of tending to Lion. And then Kit showed up looking massively hungover because you guys, the mother of a natural 20, Matt rolled in private.
Ilana didn't even need to question it. She took one look at Kit and went, that seems fair.
Yeah, I mean,
Back
none
to
of you had a
tending to the
reason to
wounds.
doubt Kit to begin with, but even if you had that nat 20, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
If ever you
Yeah.
needed proof of a situation was under control.
Yeah. This is, I didn't even make any of the others roll because that nat 20 is like, yeah, no, this is flawless. Like, moving on. And basically, Willem reheated the previous night's stew
For breakfast?
for breakfast, and there's where you kind of split up.
Yep.
Because Andy and Ilana went to Tresenda Manor because it
Tried
looked
to
like the fire
convince
stopped.
Lion to go with him first, but
Yes.
he was like, no, I'm just going to take my time. I'm just going to do it on my own.
Yeah.
And then cold-shouldered us,
And then
took
with
Kit's
Kit.
invitation and
instead.
went with Kit instead. So I know how it is. It's fine. It's fine.
It's like how much you're gonna read into that. Oh wow.
Yeah, I did tell
very
Chris.
specific skill.
I did tell Chris, like, there's no way Abba would have
Consider that.
considered that.
No, all I can say
Yeah.
is be glad that Ilana wasn't there to see it happen.
Yeah, no, that's like for me, for Lion was more like, oh, you guys are going to Tristan Manor. I kind of want to come and kind of like got shut down. It's like, oh, okay, then I'm just gonna do my own thing.
Yes, recover your wounds. You were like practically died the day before.
But either way,
Anyway.
Andy and Ilana went to Tresenda Manor because it looked like the fire stopped, which it did. Luckily, because like it reached like the point where it didn't have any fuel and just stopped, despite being knocked out.
It's still super smoky on that side of the cabin.
Yes.
But-
However, the side where the actual loot is that you cared about, You basically made an inventory. You found the lion shell Costa stuff that was originally in the Goblin Cavern, actually. So they brought it over.
There's obviously some good stuff in there. We should check
Mind
it out.
you, it's a lot of cargo. It will take you a few days to clear it out.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
planned for a couple of days.
planned for a couple of
Meanwhile,
fanzines out.
Narcillion went with Andy into town to do some errands.
With
And
Kit.
while sorry.
Kit.
Yeah, Kit. Fuck's sake. I don't care about the cat at the stairs.
He's just come upstairs. He's about to start meowing.
No meowing. Shush. We do D&D.
Yeah.
Either way, Kit and Narcillion went into the town, and as they were coming around the corner, they kind of picked up that there was some commotion in front of the town hall. There was like Silder and the town, Harbin was there, and Sister Garel, and apparently, shocker, gasp,
There's an assassin in town.
there was an assassination committed, and Glastav was killed during the night while everyone was celebrating.
In a locked jail cell.
Well, no, it was broken in.
Yeah, but it was locked.
Yeah, it was originally locked. Yeah.
But now it's not.
Duh. Anyway, and the Syrian's like, oh no, the black spider is here. We must all sleep together because he might be after us. And Kit was like, oh, shock gasp.
I completely agree. We should definitely stick together.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, inside, Kat is just like, damn it, I wanted to sleep in my fucking bed.
Yeah. But then, like, basically,
Nope.
Narcillion was like, okay, I need to do some shopping. And Kit was like, okay, I need to do some of my own stuff. I'll be right back. And so Narcillion went and bought a chicken, went to Barfin's. Kit went to Halia. Halia was like, here for your services rendered to the town. Very vague, very, like, could be interpreted either way. Shoving over like, here's your payment for your services, 100 coin, like, just didn't even say what was inside. It was like 100 gold coins, of course.
Kid is now the wealthiest member of the group.
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe. Just is.
And basically they arranged for the training in the future and some other things that Halia left with. And then basically they reconvened, Kit and Narcillion, and basically we're picking back up where you all come back together at the Sleeping Giant Inn. Yep. Yes?
Yes.
Yes, presumably.
Yes.
We've obviously all made some plans, carefully laid plans in the middle of the week. So, guess kick it off from there.
Well, I mean, we're kicking it off from you getting back together because Kit and Narcillion have news. And Andy and
Hence why I was waiting for someone to
Andy
share
and
the
Alana have news. So who arrives first? I would say Narcillion and Kit arrived first because they didn't do that much in town.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes.
So you two are sitting there, and then, you know, it's around 9:30. Ilana and Andy come back. Take it from there.
Probably in the meantime, Narcillion is kind of like portioning out pieces of chicken for Ripper.
Well, yeah. So while you were waiting, you were, what did you do with the chicken? The chicken was already cleaned from feathers, right?
Yeah.
So-
So I'm basically preparing his meal, and it's going to be like not the amount that Narcillion would estimate Clark would be giving him, but also not too few. Kind of like going towards like a lower calorie intake, but not.
You don't know what
so
calories
high.
are as Narcillion.
Yeah, but he's
No, but
describing
of
it
course,
to
like just like
low-
what a
lower
normal
portions.
like
Yeah.
lower portions. I'm using my terms.
Higher
but yeah.
higher exercise,
What he would consider
lower
lower
portions.
Okay.
And then basically,
Mind you,
because-
you left him in your room that morning.
mhm.
So are you checking on him before you start on the meal?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you checking on him before you start on chopping up the chicken?
Yes.
So, considering you brought him into the inn last night, and he didn't move until you moved him into your room, and then you left him in the room all night with the door closed, and then you left him all morning with the door closed. He had a little accident in the meantime, and he hasn't moved.
Oh, okay. Then I will first make the time to... Does he allow me to approach him? Like how? Because he's probably
Well, he's
still
just
very
sitting very lethargic. Almost like he's like not doing so well. He's just like, he will respond if you like, again, grab him by the scruff, pull him out. He will not like resist, he will come along. But he's very passive.
So what would, because I don't have any animals, I suck at keeping animals, so what would Lion know about how...
Well, I mean, Lion would know. I'm not even going to make you roll for this. Lion would know that wolves are pack animals. And in like, considering he didn't have a real pack, Clark was probably his pack. And Clark is dead. He watched him die. He smelled his blood on you. And he's probably mourning right now. And he's probably somewhat in shock, probably. I mean, a wolf's intelligence is not that high, but it's like sufficient enough to not do well, right? While you have given him water last night, you haven't seen him drink it.
Yeah.
So currently, he doesn't seem to be doing anything that is even like the bare minimum of survival.
To survive, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, you never kept a wolf, but from what you know from dogs, they go pee poop like multiple times a day. So you kind of dropped, like, mostly because you were injured and tired and you just passed out. But you kind of left him all night without even like making sure he has the basic stuff tended to.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Then I will just try to get him out a little bit out of the room. And I think there's a door actually in that room that I was staying in, right?
Yeah, that
like an
door
extra
is
door
locked.
to the outside. It's locked. Okay. Then I will take him with me outside, and I will try to do my best to coax him into eating something, drinking some water at least.
Yeah, he's not drinking or eating, especially he's like cowering even more than like as you take him out. He's like wet because he was lying in his own pee all morning.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm just going to try to do my best to clean him off. So I'm gonna get some water from the kitchen.
Yeah.
And clean him up as best as I can, dry him off as well.
Yeah, he will endure it. He's not moving really unless you move him. Yeah, he will let it happen.
Yeah, and like I'm being as basically like gentle, but still like it's not like it's not being very forceful. Like he's not trying to put too much pressure on him, but in the meantime he's still like trying to a little bit in that form where you have like a pack of wolves, right? So you have one that's more dominant than the rest. Like alpha term is a little bit outdated, I think, but basically more as if as you would do with a puppy, right?
Yeah.
Carrying him more around and being gentle but still with a firm hand.
Yeah.
He's not calling him. I'm sorry?
What do you mean with a firm hand? Because like, he's not doing anything. what you
I
consider
mean,
in this
he's
case.
like he's being
upper
gentle
hand.
with him, but he's not like petting him or something. Like he's
Yeah.
not coddling him, but still getting him washed off.
Yeah.
But he's
okay.
not dragging him around or like
Yeah,
throwing him
okay.
around or something. That I'm trying to make that distinction, right?
Yeah. In the meantime, Kit, you will notice that Pox, because he's awake and kind of like milling around, woke up one of the other goblins, and they kind of like, he was pointing at Narcillian's room, and they were like standing in front of it and like talking in Goblin, and it seems like they're commenting on something. And then Pox will come to you with the goblin that you recognize as Freyr now. And Pox will tell you, cat boss, you,
What's up?
So, while we were in the cave and Clark was in charge, Freyr was one of the goblins who took care of the big fat wolf.
Oh.
He would like take him out, so he would like not piss everywhere.
I see.
You see a bit of judgment on Pox's face.
Better not be aimed at me.
No, it's like roll an insight check.
Oh god.
Definitely aimed at you.
No, it's not now.
That one. It's definitely aimed at you. It's rolling private.
Stop rolling privately, Matt. It's an 11. No, she doesn't get it.
It's alright. I can assume.
But basically, Pox will explain to you that Freyr was the one who used to basically do the dog walks with Ripper.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's kind of like poking you. He seems to still be like asking sort of advice what to do, but it seems more like in a pushy way that he's like taking charge of like, look, we're trying to clean this place up. Do you want us to take care of this? We're not happy to take care of the wolf, the spoiled wolf, but if you want to keep him, you kind of give us a chance. We're willing to give him a chance.
Yeah.
And then Pox like, you talk to the big one, the pointier one, that's the weird looking one. And mind you, the way he says it is not like it's not like a value judgment. It's just like, oh yeah, that's what he looks like, right?
Yeah.
Goblins being very matter of fact.
Yeah, they're not like, it's not like they're trying to insult Narcillian. It's just like, oh yeah, this is what it looks like, weird.
Yeah.
So, and they leave you at that, and then they go away, and in the meantime they kind of start like waking up. By this time, I would say that Ilana and Andy are coming back around the time where like Narcillian is finishing up bathing the wolf.
Having a very historically accurate conversation about the next task Sister Gariel wishes us to perform.
I mean, you would have to go into detail here because I don't think any one of us knows actually what the fuck you just said.
Bet Lena does.
Historically accurate.
Yes, obviously discussing all the information that either of us knows about the task that Sister Gariel wants Andy to perform.
Yes, okay.
So historically accurate.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, just to briefly
It's
cover
weirdly
that.
full, but yes.
Yes.
Now
you're
I
welcome.
understand. Cool.
And the suggestion of us later today heading over to Sister Gariel, A, to check on Nars, and also B, to ask and question Sister Gariel about I keep forgetting the Banshee's name. Whatever her name is. Agatha. That's the one. I keep wanting to say a something and
Just
it
say
freaks
Banshee,
me.
then everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was Agatha all along.
Yeah. So having a conversation about Agatha and the task that's presented and what it is we're trying to achieve to make sure we understand the goals and everything.
Mind you, before you can get further into this, you are presented with the sight of Narcilla giving Ripper a bath outdoor in front of the sleeping giant.
It's about time.
Morning.
Morning. Did he need a bath?
Have an incident, yeah.
It's not fleas, is it?
No.
Okay, well, in that
more
case, it doesn't matter.
the normal kind. You guys should have back in there. Something happened with Glassstaff got murdered.
Wait,
The
what?
Last up got
Yeah.
murdered.
Yeah.
After all that
was found-
trouble we went through to capture him.
He was found dead in his cell.
Who broke in? Or did he leave?
didn't
Or what
wall.
happened? Did
There
he
was a
flee? Did
commotion.
he try? Sorry, go on.
There was a commotion at the town hall. We went up and we asked Silder what was going on, and he
We?
told us that basically me and Kit.
Oh, okay.
And there was Silder told us that the Glassstaff was found dead in his cell. The other Reverend didn't know about anything. And
Oh,
it
so
was
the other
a-
Red Brand's still alive?
the other Reverend is still
Huh.
alive, and there's a carving of a spider in ink on the chest of Glassstaff. So
Okay.
A mysterious person makes their first move.
Yeah.
It would seem.
so
Slipping any loose threads, apparently, which is not including the red
Not
brands,
including the
which is
red
very
brand.
interesting.
Obviously doesn't know anything, whereas Glassstaff
Interesting.
might have.
yeah,
Mhm,
it
mhm.
seems like probably that's the motivation, or at least that's what I'm assuming here. It was kind of like a big commotion, so I wanted to talk with Silder anyway about some stuff, but I just seemed very
This is
busy.
very concerning. Not just that the black spider came into town, but that it happened so quickly.
yeah. Considering that none of us are going to stay in different houses, we're all going to stay here.
You will have to see about division of rooms then.
It's fine. We can drag in some other beds.
Well, it sounds like one of the goblins was on watch last night when I was leaving.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it would be probably a wise thing to have one of the goblins and one of us on watch and just treat it like a normal camping situation.
Yeah, and especially going around at night,
Mm-hmm.
we need to be very careful with.
We move in twos, minimum.
We move in twos at least.
Well,
But yeah,
We can have that
I'll-
conversation with everyone in a minute.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna say I'll finish up here and
mhm.
I'll see you guys inside. I
Alright.
need to do some more cleaning inside, but
Okay.
I'll see you guys there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Head inside.
As you head inside, because Will probably heard you talking, right? He will come out of the kitchen, and
Good morning.
good morning, Mom. Mom. So, you probably don't notice, but so he kind of explains to you his stuttering way, where it is very clear that he's not trying to impose himself,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of
You can make yourself useful.
well, maybe he's leaving the judgment to you, but he's because he was the one cooking, it was also left to him to drag in the food
Mhm.
for the wolf. So should he do the same now as well?
Has he eaten?
Not that he knows.
Okay. Liaise with Lion outside. as to
He gives you a blank stare because he doesn't know what liaise means.
talk to
He nods.
Lion
Yes, ma'am.
outside.
Yes, ma'am.
I suspect he'll be happy for you to arrange the food, but probably less of it. Because the wolf's a little bit pudgy and needs to
Understood, ma'am. Yes.
get healthy.
Less fat.
Correct.
He nods.
Sounds good. Yeah, talk to Lion outside. And she kind of watches him until he goes outside.
Okay, so that, yeah, he was about to retreat back into the kitchen, basically wait until Lion comes inside.
Mm-hmm.
But because you're giving him that like expectant look of like, do it now, he will like kind of point and then back out basically and then basically keep looking at you and nodding until he's out the door, almost tripping over himself and down the stairs.
Backing into the bath with Ripper.
Yeah, and then basically turn around and going over to Lion, and then basically in the very same stuttery way, it's like, he pauses because he doesn't know how to call her to somebody else, as in like, mistress, master, lady, something.
Narcity eyebrows just rises as he's looking at him.
And
Yes,
then he
Willem.
just gives up, right? And then goes like, I've been told, because I've been feeding Ripper, to keep feeding him to laze with you.
To laze with you.
Right.
That works.
He
That works.
has been accepting food from you then?
Yes.
Okay. That's at least good. And he doesn't really want to eat from me, so I think that's fine for now. Just give him smaller portions that you would. Have you ever cared
Yes.
for
Mom.
a dog, Willem?
Yes.
Okay, so of course the portions are going to be a bit bigger because he's not a dog, he's a wolf. But make it a little bit smaller and build it off slowly, not too much at the same time.
He makes like he does this like nodding motion where he also keeps like his mouth in a constant O.
Okay.
Okay.
That's very good, Willem. Thank you. Is there anything else? Did you manage to get him to drink as well?
He is like, when?
I thought you said that you managed to get him to eat. Did you get?
Yes,
him
back
to-
when the Red Brands and the Goblins and we all were in the
Right.
manor.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I was confused.
Oh no! I haven't gone into your room. No! I swear I have not gone into your room at all. He's like raising his hands. Looks super
Sorry,
panicked
raises-
suddenly.
A little bit more, but no, it's okay, Willem. I was just confused. He's okay. Then Ripper is not eating right now.
Oh.
So he because he saw his master die. He's not doing so well.
Oh, you want me to take him to the hearth to dry? And he kind
Yes.
of looks at the drinking wolf like,
No, like it's like he was probably in the process of drying him off as much as possible. It's like, yeah, no, Willem, let's go inside. I will take him with me, and I can start the hearth as well. Did you already start it?
I already started it, yes.
Perfect. Okay. And Narcine will get up and will basically walk with Ripper and Willem inside.
And Willem can will even like fold some rags into a corner like where Ripper can lie on top.
Yeah, make him a little spot. Yeah, Nursing will help him with that.
Okay.
Yep, and then come back into the room with the others.
How was the party, Kit?
Yeah, it was fun.
Fun? Good? Were there everybody there? Celebrating, drinking?
Yeah, everyone that I could see anyway.
Yeah? Good. So, what do you know about what's happened with this, past dying?
What?
Glass stuff dying?
Last stuff.
Suddenly? Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that he was killed. That's about it.
Okay. They didn't mention anything about how he was killed, or just he was dead in the cell?
Did they mention how he was killed, Lion, or no? I don't think he
Mentioned.
was.
We just found dead. But Sildar did mention the black spider mark carving.
Carved into his chest, he said. So,
Yeah. I know about the same as Lion, what we were told.
Mm. So, what's the plan for this morning for everybody? Because I think Andy and I wanted to go and talk to Sister Gariel, but also start moving some supplies from the manor to here. Just things like,
Yes,
so we have
so I imagine-
breakfast and dinner.
I imagine it's best if we go visit the area after like lunch, since that's usually when the kids go out
Mm-hmm.
after schooling time, so she wouldn't be busy then.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. We can do as much moving in the meantime of goods.
We also do need to talk with Sildar.
Okay.
Probably about the
The murder?
goblins
Oh,
coming.
the
Well,
goblins. Hmm.
yeah, we didn't really get a chance to talk with him, and I also wanted to see for a little bit later how much of the materials from the other houses we can use to patch this place up.
Mhm.
There's a couple of things I just didn't want to bother him in the morning with everything going on.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe
Obviously,
when everything's settled down a little bit.
change of tack once we found out the person died. I guess at least they don't have to worry about trialing him anymore.
Yeah, but something else that I would consider that we need to do then is moving some of the beds into this place and
Mm-hmm. Setting up a watch.
setting up a watch system. Yeah, we should definitely also talk with the goblins about what happened.
Just so they
Just
know.
wanted Andy with that. Yeah. And otherwise,
Move.
yeah,
No,
move some
no
stuff, I
moving
guess.
solitary after dark.
definitely not.
This definitely happened in the night, I guess, while the town was celebrating. That makes sense. Everyone would be too preoccupied.
Preoccupied or drunk.
And what we can only assume that one of the escapees contacted Black Spider fast enough somehow.
Or stumbled upon them as part of a visit. And maybe the Black Spider was coming to talk to Glassstaff in the meantime. And
Could be.
stumbled upon them as they were fleeing. Perhaps, who knows. Okay, I think because I don't particularly want you to move too much, Lion. You're still recovering. And your wounds were pretty bad. I know the surface is healed, but we don't want them to reopen or anything like that. So, if you can stick around here for now and do the room arrangements, maybe with Kit, about organising where Kit best wants their nest to be placed, because we all know Kit will want a nest of some sort. And then Andy and I can go and get as much as we can. We can take Willem with us to the manor and at least get breakfast and dinner.
That have agreed.
We can take the goblins as well once they've woken up a little bit. At least that way we can move some stuff. There's the Lion Shield Costa stuff in there that we want to start moving and collect the reward for that too, rather than just leaving it lying there, because we don't know if any of these roustabouts that fled might try and come back to collect anything.
Yes.
I doubt they will. They will probably see this place as like abandoned for now, as far as they're concerned. I know I wouldn't come back.
As far as they're concerned, it's also gone up in flames, so...
Yeah, exactly. So, does that sound like an initial plan? And then once we've done those basics, we can then all go and speak to Sildar?
Yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah. How's Ripper doing? Is he, apart from bathed?
Not eating, not drinking. He's...
Oh.
He just watched his
Morning.
master get cleaved in front of him. Surprised.
Yeah.
For all that he's a wolf, he's kind of a guard dog, essentially. So,
I mean, the thing, like, as far as I could tell, because especially with the goblins, they don't really like each other much. So the only pact that Ripper had was
with
Clark.
Clark, yeah. What's your actual? Just because I don't think we've really discussed it so far. What's your actual plan? Right now.
It's at least for now. I mean, I don't really have the capacity to get him back into the wild.
Not if we're going to be
Cannot really
disappearing to deal with Agatha or anything like that. So.
Anything here in town. So the only thing that I considered so far is for now the main goal is to get it to eat.
Yeah, baby steps. But it sounds like Willem was able to help with feeding him.
He was feeding him at least before in the manor, so maybe he accepts a little bit more from him. I will check in with him later.
That's a start. At least you can know you can leave him here to be fed. That's something.
It's something.
Yeah.
He also needs to be taken out regularly because.
Well, we have one of the goblins that can help with that.
Oh, okay.
Do we?
Do they want to help?
Well,
I thought they wouldn't.
Well, they would prefer not to, but they said that since we gave them a second chance, some of them are willing to give Ripper a second chance.
Okay, it's not like doing us a favor, basically, by the sounds of it.
I mean, I would definitely greatly appreciate it. Nonetheless, I still need to work with him and at least get him into a spot that he's more active, but also not liable to attack anyone around in town. So basically,
is that something you want to do, or is that something you feel like you need to do because you rescued him? Because obviously, Sister Gariel's part of the Harbour Network, and from my conversations with Darren, they're very much organized locally with certain affiliation groups like local druid circles, local rangers, local barding troops and that kind of stuff. She might know people who would be better suited to that, or be able to kind of solve that problem of you feeling like you have to take that burden on? If
I mean,
I don't want to overstep. If it's something you want to do,
I mean, what I want is that he,
has a
the
chance.
best case scenario, has a chance, can go back into the wild. That's what I want.
Okay.
That's not what I can provide.
Yeah.
The best that I can provide is a more
A roof and some food for
guard
now.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, right
role
now we need to
in
see
some
about his
time.
upkeep to get him eating again.
Up, yes, exactly. That's primary concern. But
Okay.
if Sister Gariel knows the only ones
we
that
can
I can
ask.
consider so far,
Can't we?
Yeah.
at least,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I can also ask
mean,
her
he's-
myself. I don't want to put everything on you guys.
Yeah,
Well,
of course. If you need help, you can help.
He's
He's not
come
been.
with.
He's also not been aggressive with anyone. I assume. At least I haven't seen him. So we could.
Now he's just.
He's very placid.
Best
at the moment.
word is depressed.
Yeah.
Um,
Not great, but also better than being scared and angry.
Well, if he was scared and angry and attacking everyone, that would reduce our options. So,
Yeah.
You can certainly come with Sister Gariel if you want, so that we can have that conversation. Because we were planning to go anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if you guys come back for lunch, and then because you're already considering going back later to Sister Gariel's when the children are out.
Yeah, I assume every so often we're gonna
After
pass
lunch.
up and down with stuff anyway. So if you
Yeah.
need anything,
Well, it's kind of on the other side
Flag
of
us
town,
down.
isn't it? So we're going to be going from the manor to the Sleeping Giant, which is kind of all on the eastern side of town.
Mhm.
But we can take a half an hour stop at lunchtime. We all need to stop and eat at some point. So unless anyone has any other plans they want to talk about, kickstart those into motion.
not technically today. We need to talk to Silda, to
Mm-hmm.
Sister Garael, which I also need to do.
That's
Only
afternoon.
after we got everything figured out, we can see about selling stuff. That's a later stuff. So.
Yeah, we also need to get
I'm good.
hold of it. So I think maybe
Yeah.
whatever we're planning to sell, we can prioritize shifting that to the Sleeping Giant, and then from that tomorrow we can start shifting it from here to wherever we're going to sell it. If it's Barthen's Provisions or Lion Shield Cost or whatever. But I think the priorities for me are Sister Gariel, Silda, food so we can eat, and anything like the Lion Shield Costa shipment, get that done first and out of the way, and then we can start moving everything else and seeing what the Lion Shield wants to buy and what Barden's wants to buy. Oh, and I've been thinking about it for a while, but I was planning on sending a letter to Helm's Hold,
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
because it's been a couple of weeks, and they
Yeah.
probably would like to know that we arrived safely, if nothing else.
I totally forgot about that.
But the idea
Good
was,
idea.
we can send a letter. I was going to talk to Barden about it because he seems to be the one who does most of the planning for sending supplies, and I presume sending a message along with supplies, probably not that big a deal. But also paying enough for them to stick around long enough to get a written response, just so that A, we know it's been delivered, and B, we can get some news back.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I would like to write something to my
Okay.
parents,
Well,
my brother.
We're all going to need to eat tonight anyway, so we can eat in the Stonehill Inn, and I can bring my quills and my inks, and we can sit and pen a letter over dinner, or multiple letters if it needs to be multiple letters, and then we can talk to Barden about getting those sent.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds great.
Yeah.
We can get some news and find out what's been happening.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Divide and conquer.
Well, it's not.
Yeah. Andy, Alana, Goblins, Willem to Tresenda Manor.
Going to start sorting
Okay.
out stuff and transporting stuff down. Yeah.
Willem and the goblins in charge of moving food.
Okay.
One of the goblins and Andy and myself in charge of starting to move the Lion Shield Costa stuff to the sleeping
Okay,
giant.
well, before they start doing that, they're gonna actually, because Fox was going around and waking everyone up already. They're currently, while you were talking, they were kind of, you could hear like all sorts of noises, feet trampling across the attic, on the roof.
Attic.
Yes. I mean, the rafters, basically.
Okay, yeah.
They climbed up there. They're checking everything now in daylight one more time, so you can hear all around.
They're doing building inspection.
Andy, basically Andy, from what we can gather from the shouts, they're doing building inspection. They're like super serious about it, and Pox is shouting orders, right?
Super.
So basically, the moment you tell them what the plan is, Pox will be like, Roger that. He turns around and tells them start clearing out because we need to put the stuff somewhere. So they will start like seriously cleaning out like the broken, empty boxes, the stuff that can be reused to like transport stuff because they know what's been down there. They have been there for a while. They know that what their capacity to carry is, what they need to split up. So like, actually, once you push them to like, start doing this, it's almost like a
mini task force.
Yeah, mini task force. Like they're like, little Flemings. What are Lemmings? Yeah. Lemmings, just going ahead and.
Lion, do you want them to put all the broken wooden stuff in a particular place because you might be able to use it?
Yes.
And
yeah, definitely.
I have some ideas too. I might be able to fix some of it later, so we can keep it stored somewhere.
They will put it all in one of the houses, basically.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they will put it probably on the porch, like in one corner, because they will also temporarily use the other part of the porch to put stuff on it. But yeah. But Fox will also 100% tell you there's no way they can move the big barrels of ale, and they don't want to tap them.
No.
Because those are untapped barrels of ale, so they will need help to get that out. They can be carried.
We'll take the two weakest members of the group to help.
They can. His idea is mostly like not to bother pushing them up the stairs, but like rolling them
out
the cave, but like carefully, slowly.
Shall we see if we can get a wagon from Barthen?
They will, in the meantime, build like almost like out of planks, like a wedge.
Okay.
Because the barrel is too tall to be rolled sideways through the. It's wider than 5 feet, right?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's a giant barrel.
That's freaking huge.
Yeah, but Pox is like, but if we turn it like forward and put it on a wedge and tie with rope, we can like let it descend slowly down the wedge, down the cave, and then we can roll it slowly.
Okay.
Or put it on a wagon and then get it to town.
Okay.
You can see
Good
he's
idea,
like,
very ingenious.
he's been thinking about this all night.
Super.
Yeah.
We will go and talk to Barthen's Andy. Happy to go and talk to Barthen's first then, see if we can get a wagon.
Yeah.
And hire a wagon for a couple of days.
Well, I mean, you know already that like
Because that'll immensely help.
Matteo has been with the wagon has been basically given to you at your disposal until you can find Gudrun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
We'll ask
let's borrow my
anyway.
tip a bit.
We'll let Barthen know that we need access to it for a couple of days, and that we'll take it.
But either way, so you still need to organize the whole line ship cost. It's like easy stuff that you can like carry
With a
out.
wagon, it'll be easier. So yeah. So that sounds like a very busy morning for us two. What are you two doing?
Going out.
Well, first, definitely before all the goblins leave, like Nursing will also talk with Pox and reconfirm what Kit said, and ask him if that would be possible for them to pick up with Ripper.
Is it Frere?
He
Frere.
Frere.
No,
Frere,
it's
I'm
not the elf. Frere. No.
Yeah, sorry, I got that in my head now. Frere.
and basically thank him for that. And in the meantime, Nursinian will also spend some time cleaning his room. And I think then part of what they're doing is get the sleeping giant in situated, like making spaces for extra. They need at least 2 extra beds or 1.
Well, I want to point out that most of the beds where the goblins were staying, those were bunk beds. Right? The rooms where the goblins were sleeping in,
The bunk bed room.
the bunk bedrooms.
Yeah,
So there
yeah.
was like 4 beds each.
Did not know that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I guess it's just doing stuff around the inn, helping get everything organized there.
Yeah,
Not
but while
moving
there
too
are
much.
bunk beds, I just wanted to give you like a further info, like what the rooms look like, what they have available, because the bunk bed rooms have been mostly taken up by the goblins. So you would have to, like, if you want to take one of those rooms as you guys, you would have to talk to the goblins, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, but they can also. We could also ask them to, not just spread out before the room is filled, because they're only like 2 or 3 filling a room and then going to the next.
Yeah.
From what I remember for the numbers.
Yeah, Nursinian will offer because he's basically in the biggest room. That if they want a little bit more space, wouldn't, because he's taking that up by himself. And he feels
Well,
kind of bad about
We
it.
only need 3 rooms anyway, because one of us is going to be on watch.
That's fair.
So we take the top 3 rooms, and I guess Pox is. Well, we can just share the 2 rooms at the top, and Pox can be in his room, the goblins can be in their room, and there's going to be one of us on watch and one of them on watch. And Willem was sleeping in one of the outside houses, so he's going to have to grab a bed and move that to the pantry room.
The pantry room, the goblins are clearing out for the supplies.
Yeah, so he can sleep behind the bar.
Yeah, but from what I remember, there's like 4 rooms on the left side, or at least 4 rooms. So those would have like 4 beds each.
Yes.
That's plenty of room.
However, I want to point out that with your high wisdom, insight, you will notice the moment you start talking about now taking those rooms away from them, there is visible hesitation from Pox, and he's getting more guarded.
He would definitely, like, Nursinian would definitely not. He was even like considering offering up his room because it's bigger to place some beds there. So Nursinian will definitely not suggest that.
We can stick 2 beds in Narcillian's room. That's 3 beds for us. Put Willem behind the bar.
Yeah, or we could switch up like one of the bunk beds that is just being used by one person. We could switch out with one of the 1-person beds from our current rooms to have a bunk bed available for us.
We've got beds in all the other houses. We can just leave one of those.
That was my suggestion.
Yeah, it's not
also.
not like we're short on beds.
No.
Yeah.
I would just leave the goblins as is because we don't want to upset them.
No,
Alright.
definitely.
And we can
that statement.
we can grab one of the small beds because there's only 1 extra person. Well, Willem needs a bed here, and one of us needs a bed here, and that's it. So moving 2 beds is going to take us like half an hour.
Yeah.
How much do the beds even? I'm not sure I want to go into it.
It's straw mattresses. It's like you lift out the mattress.
Ilana summons 5 unseen servants and
Yeah.
50 pounds worth of carry
No
weight.
problem.
They
You can
move them.
carry. Yeah.
There we go. Problem solved.
All right.
You might want to precipitate the planks where Ripper had an accident because while Marcion did clean, you don't have in the medieval age industrial level modern chemicals to clean.
Thankfully, prestidigitation doesn't need modern
Yes.
industrial level chemicals. animals. Yes.
Yeah, he will first do most of the cleaning as far as he can. Much as he can.
I would focus on the second room because although clean enough from Andy the previous night, I would imagine probably not as clean as your room is once the Ripper accident has been prestidigitated.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but that's something that he would be doing in the meantime as they're moving stuff because he's not allowed to move much. So
Yeah,
he's just gonna stay in the
for a
inn,
couple of
cleaning
days, let your shoulder heal after the 17 arrows, 2 javelins, and knife you've had in there.
I want to point out, like, any more strenuous, like, because you are pushing it really hard on the recovery phase at the moment. Like, massive cleaning and stuff, I would actually avoid, or I'm gonna start making a roll Constitution saving throws.
around. Then as much as he can do until he feels he can't. Let's keep it
Yeah.
at that then.
Okay. Very busy day.
Yeah.
So, do we time skip Rippy in the morning?
We can time skip
Yeah,
it
I
in the
mean-
morning, yeah.
Yeah, till lunchtime around.
So we got food for tomorrow.
Okay.
We've moved the beds as needed.
Yeah, what did you do with the, so okay, what about the Trisenda Manor? How much did you do there?
The food for breakfast and stuff was the priority. Keep in mind
Because the
we only
goblins
have
only
2.
just started cleaning out everything. That's gonna take probably most of the day.
Yeah, that's fine. So we're only moving enough food for breakfast and
Yeah.
dinner for all of us
Yeah,
for the
Willem
next few
will,
days.
Willem will,
He's in
Yeah.
charge of
Yeah.
sorting what he needs because he's the cook at the end of the day. And for the rest of us, it's about tidying up the rest of the time. So we're probably not moving the Lion Shield Costa stuff.
Okay.
And we'll probably
yeah.
start with arranging the bigger barrel, like the
that
normal
barrel of
supplies,
ale.
to smaller stuff, so that we could next day we could start packing it into the carriage faster, so we can get stuff moving easier.
Well,
So,
like, this is why I pointed
yeah.
out that the goblins are clearing out the sleeping giant.
yeah, that's why I'm
first.
saying we're
Yeah.
prepping for the next day. We're prepping
Yeah.
for the next day.
Because we still have some stuff to do around town, so we can't spend all
Okay,
day
so
doing stuff.
it's noon. You gonna have some lunch and then?
Kit didn't really voice any interest in doing anything specific.
Yeah, Kit's just kind of helping around, and then if something catches her attention,
Making a nest for
Uh,
itself.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to stick here, or do you want to come with us to talk to Silda and Sister Gariel? We basically go and do both of those things in the afternoon.
Sure. I'll come see Sister Gariel and
Stretch the legs. Leave Pox in
Yeah.
charge. Pox and Willem in charge.
Do we want to talk about the letters when we go go over there also, or do we want to do that someday?
We can have a very quick chat to Barlin because we were talking about cat. Shush. We can talk about the letter on the way over as well, what we want to write down, but then the plan was to kind of go to the Stonehill Inn for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we should probably, I know Kit's been seen and partying hard with the locals, but the rest of us haven't, so we should probably be seen locally too.
Yeah, have dinner, maybe a bath, and then
Yeah, and then go from there. So head on over to Silda first, I would imagine. Probably the more priority.
Actually, one more last thing for in the morning that would not take that much time. Nursing would also use some time to speak with Ripper and to tell him at least that we will be going to feed him, and Freyr is then going to take him outside.
Do
for now.
me an animal handling check.
All right.
He at least listens. He's responsive to that, and he seems to understand. And he kind of seems to resign himself into, okay, at least somebody familiar you will leave him with somebody familiar enough. So he seems not happy, but he seems resigned to be fed and taken care of by Freyr, because at least Freyr was the one who walked him all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Some sense of familiarity at least, kind of like for
so
him. So
he seems fine with that.
okay.
And you will also have observed that, like, Willem gave him, like, a bowl of water, and he actually drank some water. Okay.
Yeah, with seeing that, and then at some point, like, when there's a moment, like, Christine will also thank Willem for that. Kind of, like, give him a pat on the shoulder. Very awkward pat on the shoulder, and then...
Very awkward, kind of, like, almost, like, flinching at first. And then, like, you see, like, the realization's like, oh, you're actually patting him on the shoulder, and then he's very like he kind of like awkwardly nods with the same expression to his face.
Yeah, it has basically almost the same expression, like awkward. It's like, and even like shaking as like why did I pat him on the shoulder? That was way too fucking awkward, and just walk off.
God, no, Cillian's entire character is just a mood.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, Willem and Cillian are like this.
Yep.
By the way, that's like Barry Keoghan is like the inspiration for Willem. Just like if you know how awkward he can act in the Banshees
I saw
of
that in the picture. I
Inisherin.
recognized it.
Yeah. So yeah, 100% Barry Keoghan from the Banshees of Inisherin.
Super.
Yeah.
Off to talk to Sildia.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was kind of your lead line, so Ilana is going to be more than happy to let you lead on that conversation.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. I mean, it was just going to be about the goblins and the wolf moving in.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk with him about the goblins as well. That's
Perfect.
great.
Cool. Great. And it's like Andy
Very,
before. It's like,
very quickly sidesteps this conversation and lets Andy deal with it instead.
Yep.
Yeah.
He seems
That's why I
super
spoke up.
relieved. He's
That's
super
why I
relieved.
spoke up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where do
heading
you
to
go?
Silda?
To Silda first. So Silda is in the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
When you arrive, you get the impression that like the cell has been taken care of in the meantime, like cleaned up, because the body
I assume we'll get buried.
has been wrapped up, and let me just double check. I think I checked it already, but like just to make sure. Sister Garel, spellbook. Just a second. Sister Garel actually did cast Gentle Repose on him.
Okay.
We kind of wrapped him up in the cell because they don't have anywhere to put him at the moment, and because they didn't want to it's starting decaying, spreading disease. She cast Gentle Repose on the body.
Makes sense.
And Sildar will basically you arrive and he will just give you a brief update. But he said the townsfolk are mostly calm. Because they have kept this from spreading. To not unsettle them, just right off the back of the celebration with the Red Friends. But he is concerned, right? Clearly that this has happened, and whoever the Black Spider is, I mean, clearly they can break into locks.
And move unseen.
It wasn't he will comment that it wasn't that difficult to move unseen, considering that most of the town was celebrating. It was night.
I assume there were no guards.
No, like there was no reason to
No
guard
reason
this.
to guard it. No.
The door to the staircase was locked. The cells themselves were locked.
Mhm.
And the town hall entrance doors were all locked. And the windows like shut down.
Mhm.
So from what he noted, from what he gathered, is like somebody basically flat out just broke in through the front door.
Mhm.
But there was nobody on guard, so like
Yeah,
it
the
wasn't
town
a
was
difficult.
celebrating.
Yeah.
It's easy to get past everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. We also let him, or at least I'll let him know about our idea that one of the ones that fled most likely let this black spider know that, we've captured Yano and got there to pair of loose ends. So that's probably how it happens.
Silda kind of shrugs. It's like at least half a day to the intersection, and he's like, "Wow, that would worry him because it would mean that Crackmaw Castle, where they are, this is where the headquarters are, where the Black Spider should be, would be much closer to Phandelver." So
Yeah,
he's kind of like preoccupied now with that thought of where Crackmaw Castle might be.
yeah, unless it was
that
just
or Black Spider was already on their way
on
here
the way
for
here. Yeah.
talk with Yano.
And just opportunity presented itself and they took it. There's no way of knowing, and I don't think it's worth second guessing. The only thing I would say coming out of this is perhaps it's worth getting a little bit of funds from the mayor to pay for the materials for Darren to magically seal the prison cells in the future. And I believe when he's casting that spell, he can elect certain individuals' names who can open those locks. So he will be able to magically seal the prison and prevent at least someone from getting into the prison again. It's just an idea.
You know, this like and kind of points like that's a very good idea. I like that. I like the way you all think. And he kind of like sits there and is like, have you considered joining the Lord's Alliance? I know that with Yarno we haven't made a good impression.
Not
But I assure you that usually we operate, and you seem good folk who care about this town's well-being.
For the time being, let's leave it at that. And leave affiliations as affiliations.
Well, he
We're
will.
happy to cooperate with you, of course, but future steps are
Fair
still
enough,
here.
fair enough. But he will basically leave this as a standing offer. You are all welcome to join the Lord's Alliance as the local representatives of like law and order, basically.
I can see that going down well with Kit. I do not say that out loud, obviously. Your offer is appreciated. We will consider it. Andy, did you want to talk about the goblins?
Yes.
And
I also wanted to talk about, I've priorly informed you about our plans to incorporate the other goblins that are viable to do the same with them as we did with Pox. So just wanted to have a talk with you as the unofficial, current town master, unofficial, about what the expectations are with integrating the goblins into a town, basically.
Silver will be very hesitant about this because he was suffering from the goblins for quite a while, right, on his own.
And this is actually why I find you are the best person, because you have first-hand experience just as we do with goblins. So what you're hesitant about, I'm very open to listen and talk with. And
He's like,
yeah.
Ilana will point out that these aren't necessarily the same goblins responsible for his treatment.
he will be like, stranger things have happened, but from what he knows, goblins are usually vile, unpredictable creature bent on chaos and nothing good. But then he will like actually ask you questions, like since they have left Trisander, what they have been up to, and kind of like sit there in like complete disbelief because you just kind of blew his mind because all he knew is what you guys have always known about goblins. And it's just like
Raiding bands of marauders.
of marauders
led
and
by
evil.
stronger things.
Right, yeah.
Basically.
Like it like you can see like this like change, very slow and reluctant, of like maybe we have thought of goblins in a completely wrong way all this time, but I'll believe it when I see it.
Maybe they're individuals too.
He will be like, you can give it a try. It will be your responsibility and keep them away from the townsfolk
Until they're happy to associate.
until we know that it is actually safe and they will not like erupt in violence at any second. And if something happens, he will hold you personally responsible for it.
Yeah, I think you'll find they'll make a good addition to defending the town.
He doesn't believe that at all at the moment. But because of what you have done for the town, and you don't seem like you're delusional, he will, because of you, give it a chance. But he's very reluctant about it.
Cool. We'll
Alright.
reiterate that back to Pox once we get back. They've been given a chance, but they need to prove it.
Yeah.
Talking about Ripper.
Maybe not to add too much fuel. There is also a wolf that was mistreated by one of the bugbears, and he is very domesticated. He is more domesticated than most dogs. We're currently working with.
Here, he's like, is he any danger to the town? No, yeah, I don't care. Basically, it's a pet, whatever.
It's an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just figured to let you know.
He will bring back the topic basically in the middle of like basically this busy line of like I don't care. Not like in a negative way, but like it's like to him this is just a pet, not really a big matter of importance. There's like
It's not
bigger
sentient
things.
goblins.
Okay.
But he will absolutely like, no matter what your plans are, he himself will kind of like try to figure this out. But obviously he cannot really leave town anytime soon because he's still recovering. But he deeply encourages you guys to keep up the pressure on the Kragmaw goblins, since you are now in charge of them, to see if you can get glimpses on like where you can locate Kragmaw Castle and follow any leads to find it. Because now that Black Spider has come into the town, this is like a more pressing, imminent danger seemingly. And he will offer you 500 gold for the location of Kragmaw Castle. If you find Kragmaw... No. If you can locate Kragmaw Castle and defeat or drive off the tribe's chieftain.
Oh, this is slightly more in detail than just find the castle. Yes, okay.
Yeah, we already have the
noted.
approximate area.
Noted. We have a couple of other things we've kind of committed to first that hopefully shouldn't take too long, but we will push ahead with that as soon as we're able to.
500 gold, you see.
500 gold.
Yeah. Kit's eyes woke up at that comment.
Yeah, it's
Kit was drifting up in the background and the ears have popped back up again.
Yep.
Super. I think that was everything to discuss. We need to talk to Harlan about requisitioning materials from the other houses because he's still the town master, technically.
Yeah, he just weighs off like you know where his house is.
Yeah. But we'll talk to Harlan a bit later. I think we need to talk to Sister Gariel next, unless you guys want to have anything more pressing.
Oh, I think that's the best idea.
Yeah.
Seems most of it, yeah.
Seems
It's
like
Harbin, not Harlan.
Harbin. That's right.
Harbin
Yes.
Bester.
How could I forget that he's complete trash?
But like Silver doesn't blink at you misnaming him at all. Like he's just like,
Ilana would not have misnamed him.
Yeah,
She
okay.
has keen mind. So
Lion would have misnamed him.
100%, as would everyone else. Heart trash.
Yep.
Car
Um,
trash.
Head over to Sister Gariel because it's after lunchtime. The kids have finished. The kids are coming running out of school, going, "Yay!"
No, they not. They didn't have.
They didn't have school. Shocking display of discipline. Head over to Sister Gariel.
Yeah.
Predominantly, I kind of want to let you lead on this, Andy, because obviously she is your primary contact. But happy to back you up with questions and suggestions if you have.
Okay.
gaps.
Would love that, yes.
When you
thank
arrive, she's just coming out from. Looks like she's tending to Nars.
I would start with how is she doing?
She looks a bit tired.
Mm-hmm.
She's still kind of like she's putting a bit more weight on the injured ankle, but she's still kind of like limping. You can see it's like more like she's putting pressure on it because she's stubborn, rather than being ready to walk on it. And you would absolutely see and know that she shouldn't be doing this, right?
Yeah.
But she's stubborn.
But she's stubborn, right?
She's limping basically around, and Lion limps into the door and just
Yeah.
looks.
Everybody's limping
Peas in the
into
party, yeah.
She kind of like will like straighten out her hair. By the way, Lena, Andy has no idea how old Gariel is. By the way,
She's an elf, isn't she?
she's
Yeah.
an elf.
Full elf.
Yeah, she's a full elf. So she looks 21.
Yeah.
She will be looking 21 for a very long time. But yeah, so what's happening? You don't always wait me for like I'm waiting for you to see what you guys doing.
Going towards her and greeting her, basically.
Yeah, she seems a bit like, huh? Oh yeah, like she's tired and distracted and worried and bags underneath her eyes. I mean, she's still an elf. She still looks pretty, right? So yeah, she looks at you and kind of like waits.
Yeah. Sorry, I just fucking Wi-Fi. Basically, ask how she's doing and how Naz is doing, and then just tell her that we'd like to speak with her in general about a couple of things, and also give her a rundown on what exactly happened. If
She
she
will
did.
give you like a good account of like medical state of like, oh, he is very malnourished. He doesn't seem to have suffered any like serious injuries besides like bruises and cuts, and she cleaned it all up. But he seems to still be like in a mental state of shock. So she's just letting him rest basically. He has eaten a tiny bit, but one of the reasons why she also didn't have like a whole bunch of rowdy kids like over that morning is to give him quiet.
All right, understandable.
She also speaks very quietly, like, and if any one of you was like speaks up louder, she will like shush you. It's like shh, keep your voice down.
All right. To continue on and ask, trying to see what if she has any plans for what to do for him in the future, because he quite obviously.
Well, I mean, they don't have an orphanage, and she's like, well, I'm running a school. I guess I'm running an orphanage right now. At the moment, she doesn't have any plans beyond just taking care of him and making sure he's okay.
Seeing if he had any good friends in town, and maybe if their parents would be willing to take him in.
She's like, she'll see about that at the
later.
moment.
Yeah, just get him recovered
Yeah.
first.
Understandable. Yeah. Because Andy knows that she's probably, just from like an intellectual sense, know what would happen. She gives her basically a status report on the basics of what went down in the manor. And after they left,
yeah.
That basically her plan for their plans for moving the supplies in the next couple of days, and also get things situated with the goblins and the wolf. And also then also thank her again for the potions, and just kind of ask if you would appreciate something in return,
Well, she'd be like, all this was delayed what she was tasked to do. And it's like, her superiors will be starting to be impatient about like getting results. And she hates to press it, but like it does remind you that you agreed to.
That's why we're here, to talk about all you know. Because
like, she was like, you can see she was like kind of readying herself to be like pressing it hard, and then she like the moment you say that, like she kind of like, oh, okay, and then calms down and like softens and goes back to its like tired state.
If you can start at the start and tell
what
us
your previous
everything
attempts
you
were
know.
with Agatha.
Yep, everything you know about what you've been given from your superiors, what it is we're looking for, why we're looking for it, what it's about. Anything you know might be information that can be useful.
Well, I mean, she knows how to get to where the Banshee lives or inhabits.
Its environment.
It's like basically she already gave you this information. You will have to go to Coneyberry, then make your way out from Coneyberry that way, because she doesn't know a different way. Because the forest is now winter woods are not safe.
Not the best.
So she knows a safe route out of Coneyberry, basically.
From what she's telling me, is this even remotely close to the undead area that Darren was talking about? Or completely not in the same direction?
I mean, she will pull out a map. You guys also have a map of the region.
Mm-hmm.
And
Alana's got it in her head, hence why I'm asking the question to the GM, not you. Not Gariel.
Agatha is like, well, I'm not. You would know. It's on the map.
Is it?
Yes. Then the map. It's been on the map for a while. If you go to the region, you go to Coneyberry.
I keep getting that region map, even if it's.
You see Coneyberry. That's Agatha.
Agatha's bargain.
And Oldalwell is down there.
Okay. Yeah, fine. Yeah.
It's in that region.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's not in the same direction.
I was just thinking, like, it's an undead. There's other undead reported. Are they from the same place? So that's fine. That's fine. Now that I remember, that's fine too.
She will be like, if you lived as long as she has lived, you will notice. You will start noticing that undead tend to be everywhere.
Yeah. First encounter of, or the mention of undead, and there being two different kinds. So, news to us. Hence the questions.
It's very new.
Mm-hmm.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's two of them.
Yeah, there's two of them. I think there's more than two here.
All right, you've mentioned the habits of hers.
The what?
The habits of Agatha?
There's no habits. She inhabits.
Inhabits.
Oh, okay.
Like,
okay.
Lives in,
like a hollowed out tree with furniture inside. She didn't get like that much.
Okay.
She basically found it and then was surprised by the Banshee. The Banshee the first time around wasn't too happy to find her there.
Mm-hmm.
And she tried it again, but then the Banshee was already hostile.
Yeah.
She doesn't go too much into detail what exactly happened. You kind of see a very deep scowl, as in like she was probably not too happy about what she did, in that sense, like what Gariel did.
Yeah.
As in like she's one of those people who like constantly goes back and thinks about what she could have done better or somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So she holds herself up to a very high standard already. So like she must have done something that was really silly in her mind.
Turns undead.
But yeah,
Probably.
she says that like one of the reasons she has been tasked is that she's the Banshee of a long dead elven maiden.
Okay.
Right. She doesn't know too much about Agatha herself. She only knows that she's known as the ghost of the Neverwinter Woods.
Okay.
and that she haunts the Neverwinter Wood near Coneybury.
Okay. Doesn't know how she died.
No, she doesn't know how she died.
Doesn't know anything about the history, presumably.
She seems to have been a wizard, a mage, because she retained some of her wizardly skills.
Okay. This should be an interesting conversation.
Yes, indeed. Also, even if she looked scowly at her previous action, Andy would just gently poke to. I would appreciate what exactly would have gone wrong last time. Shall we make sure not to do the same thing?
She was like, basically, don't enter her house.
Mm-hmm. Don't attack her.
Understandable.
She said she speaks in rhymes. So
Oh, dear. Oh boy. Yep.
Oh, I cannot wait.
yes.
Yeah.
And she has been given this thing to offer her, basically, as she doesn't know what significance it is to her, but it is, as far as she knows, of emotional significance.
Yeah, possession of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, that's wait. I have my notes.
And the purpose is to retrieve her book.
Not her book.
A
So Gara was like, no, to retrieve either the book or find the whereabouts of Bo Gentle's spellbook. And she's like, this is some obscure knowledge, because she tried to figure it out. At this point, by the way, because you guys had some caravan interactions, stories and stuff, and grown up on stories from various people, including caravans. I will allow Andy and Ilana to roll me a history check.
Here we go, it's another phone.
That's where my technical issues come in, because I currently have both laptops set up. The one that doesn't take my audio has to reduce the battery draining on. The one that does have my headset currently has my notes and the Foundry on, the other one.
Mhm.
But it somehow has failed to connect to internet now.
Okay?
So I'm doing offline notes and isn't opening Foundry. So
You want me to
technical issues are getting
roll
worse.
for you?
yes, please. That would be great. At least I still have Wi-Fi on the one that is without battery, but still has my headset.
Ilana,
It's a mess
roll
today.
me a history check too.
It was a good roll. You rolled a 14, so you got a 19 in
Hell
total.
yeah! So that's a 19.
in
Nice.
total, yeah. History just straight roll.
Yeah. Okay.
Nat 1.
So, what
Woof.
Garel knows, Andy knows as well, but Andy will know more than this. So I'll start with the basic. Garel will let you all know that, from what she found out is, she knew this already, but never really, it's kind of obscure knowledge. But Bo Gentle of Silvery Moon was a legendary wizard back in the day. He was, and by back in the day, he was born in 1034 DR. So 900 years ago. Right. That's back in the day. Right.
Mhm.
And he was studying magic at a young age under somebody called Quintus Ulam, which she knows nothing about. And you can see the frustration, because it looks like she really tried to find out more and failed miserably. Right. She goes a bit off trail and talks about how it is said that on the night of Bo Gentle's birth, no less than 21 shooting stars were witnessed by watchmen on Silvery Moon walls. And he was known for his calm demeanor and generosity and daring adventures. And he spent much of his life exploring dangerous places in search of magic, which he would then share with cities and other wizards. And some of his notable achievements include slaying Rogok the Black Dragon and helping found the Abbey of St. Ellery. And she would know that the Bo Gentle's book refers to either his spell book, which is her like primary guess, or maybe an account of his journeys, or a combination. Considering the Harpers are after it for probably a good reason, it's probably a spellbook.
Okay.
Andy, what you know is that Bojangles wasn't just a legendary wizard, he was a really talented one. You heard like stories about him. Like you heard, and these are like more like, you heard like terms, not necessarily things that make sense to you, but like you still kind of retained it. You know that he attracted the attention of Silvery Moon's High Mage Orla Alun at the age of 19, which sounded like the High Mage was a big deal in Silvery Moon, like the High Mage of Silvery Moon. And it's like, oh my god, it's somebody that young has attracted, like, you know, must have been a very talented wizard, right? So this is like kind of stuck in your head for that reason. You also know that he left Silvery Moon at 23 to pursue a grand career in wizardry across the entire Sword Coast and the Savage Frontier, which is why there's like a bunch of stories about him along the Sword Coast, right? You know that he died basically when he was already retiring in a like a mudslide somewhere. You're not sure where, but like in old age, basically nothing dramatic happened to him on his death. But you know that he bequeathed his final magical work, which would eventually be bound in Bojangles' book, which Garel is talking about. But it doesn't seem to like she knows this. But he bequeathed it to the House of Wonder before he basically retired and spent his remaining years with the elves of the Shulmister. You don't know what the Shulmister is. Yeah, I
would guess.
You know the name, but like
we don't know.
Actually, Elkan would have probably talked about it
if Philana had paid attention in history class. Yes.
Yeah.
Which she didn't.
And then you kind of like retroactively, as you kind of like trace it back in your head what you learned, you kind of remember that it was reported that he died when he fell from a mountain path in a snowstorm in 1241 DR. So like over 200 years after he was born. And that the elves buried him in a grove beneath a dryad's oak in the southern quadrant of the Shulmister forest. But as far as you know, Bojangles' book was something he gave to the House of Wonder. Whatever the fuck that is.
A wondrous house.
Yeah, so Andy is silent probably for like around 5 minutes, which is pretty alarming for her. She's rarely silent that long when she's in a normal mood. And then she just shoots out in quick speed as she usually does when ranting and hyper-focused with everything that she just thought of.
Okay.
And this also kind of clicks partially for Garel because she knows what the House of Wonder is. It actually was a mage academy and a temple of Mistra, located in the seaboard of Waterdeep.
Was.
What? No, it still exists in the late 15th century.
That was me as a player checking.
Yeah, is. Yeah,
Is.
Okay. So yeah, the House of Wonder is a mage academy. But considering the Harpers are asking for the location, it's probably no longer there. Otherwise, the Harpers would have...
The elven maiden wizard took it. Yeah, she was apparently most likely a student at the House of Wonder because she was a wizard, then took it somehow and now has it.
Or was given it.
Yeah.
Potentially, or knows where it is, perhaps.
Yes, she has some sort of connection there.
Yeah, she does. Okay. Ilana will elaborate about our plans. We're going to be busy for the next couple of days just shifting a few things and tidying up after the Red Brands, and healing wounds. You know how that goes. And then we will start looking into resolving the Agatha situation. Does she know how many days it took her to get there from here? You're welcome.
I hate you so much. It took
Because
her.
I'm assuming it's like a 4 or 5 day trip.
It is. You can, in the meantime, pull out the traveling speed of 30 and how much it is for an 8-hour trip. So I don't have to do all the math.
Resources, traveling speeds. Traveling speed of 30. But we don't move at 30, we move at 25.
Yeah, but you asked how long
yeah,
it
yeah.
would take her.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, wait. The math was not letting me click.
Confirmation she's not a wood elf at least, so that's the 30 instead of 35.
No, she's a high elf.
We know your heritage.
You would know her heritage pretty much from looking at
We
her.
would know that what's not her heritage.
Yeah.
It's 55 miles to Coneybury.
55 hours?
55 miles!
Yeah, it's... Yeah, okay. 55 miles. 18 hours of travel.
And then another 5 miles to Agatha's lair.
Okay,
from
plus
Coneybury.
an hour.
Yeah.
So 20 hours of travel.
So 2 days, yeah.
You can only push 8.
Yeah, okay.
2.5.
Yeah, 20 hours of actual traveling.
Yeah.
So it's 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Basically together. Okay.
She said last time she went, she actually spent the night in one of the ruins in Coneybury.
Does she have because she said we have to go the safest path is to go from Coneybury, but
Anyway,
does she have a more
We need to pay
close-
Coneybury a visit anyway, so...
I mean, she will point to the location, but as far as she knows, this is the safest path
Yeah,
to get to her.
it makes sense to take the safest path. We want to be as rested as we can.
She hasn't even that's the path
Is
she found out.
the
And
last question I would have is just general knowledge about banshees in general. Is this the kind of thing where we should only approach her at night to talk? Is she there day or night? Does she know?
she doesn't know. She hasn't.
When did she approach and
During the
encounter
day.
her? During the day. Okay, so it obviously doesn't matter. Yeah, fine.
Does she have a detailed description of the path from Coneybury?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
that.
she's given it
She's
to us.
given
already.
it to
Yeah,
you already.
Ilana's got
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
Also, last question, because you mentioned that she speaks in rhymes, but since you were sent because she's an elven maiden, does she therefore prefer to speak in elven, or is it also common?
She speaks in Elven.
Okay.
So that rules out Kit Kat.
I don't know what you're on about. I can learn Elven in that amount of time.
How about you refine your current writing first?
Oh, called out.
We know
She
that's
speaks
never gonna happen.
Daryl will note that it's a very archaic way of rhyming as well.
Okay, it's because old.
Yeah. Like how you would modern rhyme versus Shakespearean.
Yeah, of course.
Limericks and such, yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is an Elven rap battle.
Yeah.
Basically, yes, that does seem.
Yeah,
where
during the
this is
2.5
going.
days of travel, let's just note down with all possible elven rhyme endings.
Yeah.
Gonna spit straight fire.
A cheat sheet, yeah.
Okay, good. I think we've got everything I need to know about the situation. And it's about finding Bogentil's spellbook.
Yes.
Are you hungry, Kit? Is that you meowing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kit is hungry.
A little bit.
How about we do a break here, you guys?
It's-
Alright, I'm gonna try to get the other laptop going, but I doubt it.
Okay, give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll reconvene in 15-ish.
Yeah, I'll
Mhm.
give it 15
Yeah,
minutes.
fitness fine.
Alright.
because that's only for 1 round.
Okay, so we're back. Yes, Matt, we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
cool.
back.
Yes, we're
Awesome.
back.
But yeah, we were mentioning to the others, like your planned trajectory of how you're gonna end up being at 75 base movement speed and what that actually means.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is completely according to the rules and super not broken according to Wizards of the Coast. But okay.
Yeah. And the fact that I can run faster than a fucking cheetah.
Yeah.
No, that she can run faster than a freaking dragon according to their book, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Nothing
Oh,
wrong,
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Overtake the dragon, jump up a few bushes, land on the dragon's back because he's moving slower, and then stab him in the back of the head and crash land.
Anyway,
Chopped up.
And then jump up the snout.
Yeah.
so
Legolas.
Garael shared what she has.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there was anything else to talk about with Gary. I'll wrap up that
There is.
one.
I will.
She will point out that Oldalwell is in that region, but last time she has been to Coneyberry, there have been no trace of undead.
Yeah, that's fine. Ilana has keen mind. She knows the map. She knows where they would have been.
No, but like the whole undead presence, she
doesn't know of anything
Yeah.
nearby. Yeah.
she hasn't seen anything.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine.
besides Agatha, of course.
The only other thing
Yeah.
to talk to Sister Gariel about is whether she would know any groups locally or otherwise that would be able to assist in the rehabilitation of a wolf that has been extremely domesticated and needs to be rewilded.
Or at least taken better care of than.
Or at least, yes,
And I can provide.
have the ability to take care of the wolf.
I mean, she will be like, she can send out words to her network and see if they, because there's
Yeah.
several druid circles in the Neverwinter Wood.
Yeah, that would be useful. Obviously, we've rescued Ripper from the Plag, the bugbear, but I mean, Lion knows more, but he's not in
I
such
don't
a
know,
great
it's-
state.
I don't know if rescued from is the right word, but we at least had to do something with him because he's, like Ilana said, he's quite domesticated, and at least now with Willem, he's eating and drinking, so that's good.
She will be
But-
like, I'm sorry, like, I don't mean to seem heartless, but I have a child here who's lost their parents.
That
It is good that you care about this animal, but it is. I will send note, but you know,
Please.
you will see that like she doesn't give a fuck.
Good old fashioned
Yeah,
Sister
before-
Gariel style.
Yeah. I'll just tell her that I'll come by tomorrow if it's alright, since we've recovered a couple of books in the manor and there's some like advice on since they're locked. But I'll come by tomorrow to just talk, sit down. That's it.
She nods.
And at
Alright.
least for your help with the potions, I can offer once I'm recovered and we have a little bit of time. I can gather some more materials at least for you, so you could restock.
Oh, I don't make them myself. I like giving me herbs is a waste.
Okay, well, then never mind.
Alright. Have a great rest of your day. I'll check in tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless the other will want to continue with some other conversation, I think we can go.
No, yeah.
With that, Lion's
So-
already.
What are we doing?
What time is it?
It would be around 3 p.m.
Alright. Okay.
ringing for
The
your
goblins are
notes.
currently still busy working, right?
Yeah, they'll be until dinner time. This is not like they can't clear out all the mess left behind with the white breads in like a few hours.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless we have something on our checklist, Andy will probably join the goblins and whatever, and just sort of kind of try to establish a camaraderie when she's side by side working with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is everyone kind of splitting up to do their own thing? For the next.
Depends.
Yeah, unless we have something for today still.
I don't think so. I was going to suggest a couple of hours of just personal time. Do whatever you want, and then reconvene at the Stonehill Inn.
I mean, Andy's going to be at the Stonehill
Yeah, for
and
dinner.
judging, but with the
Yeah.
goblins anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Well, at the sleeping, she's gonna be at the sleeping giant.
A sleeping
but
giant.
Sleeping
I
Yeah,
just
giant.
said reconvene at the Stonehill.
at the Stonehill.
For dinner.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I can. Yeah. All right.
So you're gonna
Okay,
let
dinner
Willem
is
know
so
that
cool.
he's not making dinner for you guys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was in the written plans.
Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know them by heart, and
Yeah,
some of
okay.
it already changed. So
Yeah, sure. Plan is to tell everyone that we're going to go to the Stonehill Inn. Milana's going to go to Tobin and tell him that we have some unexpected guests. Not unexpected. Unexpected for him. We're going to have some goblins.
he's gonna be very wary of that. Mind you, Silda
They-
did say to keep this under hush hush in the wider town until you know that it's safe, to not raise a white panic.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I mean, okay, you can tell the townsfolk, but you got a warning.
Yeah, hence I'm heading over to Bourne, and she needs to just run away.
Mm-hmm.
And we also needed to go to Barthen's at least.
Yeah, I was going to do Stonehill on the way to Barthen's.
Mhm.
Because they're both next to
Yeah,
each
because
other, basically.
if we
Lion would
Yeah.
join you for that.
yeah if we do
Mm.
Stonehill, we can write the letters during or slightly after or before dinner while we wait for food. Then we can go to Barthen's, give the letters over, so that works, and get that done.
Well, I was going to go to Barthen's before, just
Mhm.
to see if he can
Mhm.
even send the letters.
Yes, very true. Yes.
And then, if he can, then we'll do the letters during dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, if
So
if we're going around town and hope. Yeah.
I would say Willem's cooking for the
Yeah.
goblins and Ripper and
Yeah.
himself, and we're going to go to the Stonehill Inn
So yeah,
at
the
dinner time.
townsfolk are used to one goblin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sort of, and there was
Yeah.
already wariness.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of them. This
Yeah.
is what Silda was pointing out. Might lead
Yeah.
to.
Okay, forget all that. We're not doing
Yeah,
that.
okay.
So we're going to go to the Stonehill Inn to tell Tobin we're going to be there for dinner.
Okay.
Just us. Nobody
Oh,
else.
he is like on the house, no problem.
Super fantastic. We're gonna
Awesome.
we're gonna go and talk to Barthen
Oh,
about.
he will. When if kid goes like awesome, he's like, oh, I will have extras for you, and he's like kind of elbowing because like you were like the party animal last night.
Hell yeah. I'm ready.
He was like, how's your head? Right? Are you hungover?
That's fine.
Knowing Kit, her head is fine. She bounces back just as much as she does physically. So
Work hard, party hard.
yeah,
Exactly.
Quite literally a pet animal.
Yeah.
And then head to Barthen's to see if it's possible for him to arrange the letters.
Throughout you guys, by the way, flitting around the town, you will have like very friendly villagers going, hey! Super happy to see you.
There's a really
Cheery.
grumpy cat in the Stonehill Inn too, apparently.
Yeah, that's Tabitha.
She hasn't found any mouse since
No,
Kit
she
arrived.
just doesn't like all this partying. It's too loud for her.
Oh, yeah. That's a mood.
Grumpy old cat.
Yeah. Fair. So see if Barthen can arrange the letters.
So Barfin will be like, from
Yeah.
what he's heard, because he's the town's gossip, right?
Yeah.
With what happened, you know. And he's not so sure that it's like safe to go. Although, as you go there, there's Mingy. Like, you will find, like, she'll be like, oh, no, yeah, I'll take it, no problem. You will have known that, like, occasionally Mingy does deliver the messages for Barfin,
Okay.
Barfin's provisions,
Mhm.
because she likes taking that, like, it gets her out of the town. It gets her to Neverwinter.
Gets her out
Yeah.
from under mom. Yeah.
But Barfin will insist that she goes with Anders.
Oh, they can make it a date.
So she'll be like, yeah, they'll take horses. But you will sit, like, he will sit down and basically start calculating what it would cost to send a message.
And a return message. So.
Oh,
it's,
return message. Oh, all right. So,
yeah.
Yes,
so,
and not just one letter to one person. If possible, it would be at least 3 people, I think.
But they should all be in fairly close proximity to each other in the same town.
Yes.
So it's a case of like delivering 3 letters to the same neighborhood, basically.
yeah, so he will be like, okay, delivering a letter to Helmsfold directly would be 3 gold. Usually it's less than that, but like usually you round up because if they have to give the message to somebody to hire a courier like locally, it's kind of integrated into the price.
Sure, yeah.
It's like a 1/2 days ride out, 1/2 days back. If they don't find your people right away, they will have to stay overnight. That will be like 4 days total. They need like provisions for that ride, horse feed, horse stabling if they have to stay over. For 2 riders because they're going in pair, it's gonna cost you 11 gold, 10 silver, and 40 copper.
Alana puts 11 gold, 10 silver, and 40 copper on the table.
Okay.
I was going to pay with the party friends, but alright.
It's fine, it was Lana's idea, so. We will deliver the letters later this evening.
And he will send Mingy and Anders the more like
Yeah,
right away.
That would be great.
And Mingy's like,
he gets paid too. Yay. Hopefully, once we get back from Agatha, the next mission isn't locate Mingy. But yeah, so
give the GM evil ideas.
yeah, you never know. So super. That's basically everything Ilana wanted to sort out.
So they should be back in 3 to 4 days after the leave.
Yeah, 4 to 5 if they have to spend a bit of time looking for them. So that's fine. Otherwise, Ilana didn't have anything specific planned. She would probably spend the evening talking to her friends just about everything that's happened and how everyone's doing.
So I will fast forward to the evening. Like, you're settling all down, you have done whatever. Kit, are you doing something in the meantime on your own?
You assassinating anybody else?
Shush! You're not the GM, you're not asking questions.
No, Holly hasn't said she wants to see me, so I'm
Well,
kind
she
of
was
just
like,
meandering
give it a
about.
few days, but like, she did imply that you can come back, just not like immediately, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't make it too obvious. Like, give it like a couple of days, and then you can come back, and then you can talk a bit more.
Yeah. I'm not sure a couple of days have passed since then, so I don't think there's really anything else for Kit to do. It's just time to meander around and be a cat.
Andy, if you do have like a few moments with, no, never mind. This is the next morning. Sister Gariel, remind me, please. Just make a note somewhere.
Yes,
like,
the
for
next day.
morning. Yeah.
Yeah, the next day at lunch at latest, I'll be going by her place
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
That's a fixed thing.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I will just time skip you guys to like evening. Where you like
After
reconvene.
dinner evening or Dinner evening.
Dinner evening.
Okay, good to know because that changes the schedule. All right.
So, because you all reconvene at the Stonehill Inn
For dinner.
for dinner, with Kit having extra portions. Like, and extra portions, I mean it. Like, they piled it up solid.
Obviously made a favorable impression.
Yeah.
That's
And-
why I said
And the
you should
whole
all come
meal
and
is
party.
like with ale, everything is on the house. Like, you know, he will absolutely refuse taking any money.
In typical fashion style, Ilana is refusing alcohol and drinking simply water.
He will pull out some stowed away apple juice for you.
He knows me too well. But yeah, just giving everybody a chance to check in. If anybody wants any personal conversations, that's obviously the point of this point for me, anyway.
There's gonna be some sideways scribbling from Andy as she then just pokes Kit. Well, so what do you want me to add? What do you want me to add? Just do it that way.
Yeah, letters wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I will also think of what to write after the
And
session.
Matt, you can think about it after session what you want to add for like the parents.
No stress there.
no
Just
stress.
play. Larson will just write a letter to his parents. That's what he's doing.
I think the thing is, I don't think Kat would have anything else that Andy wouldn't have already put down.
Just
I mean, Andy
a paw print,
definitely like
probably.
reads you the letter, so you know what you can read, right? You can read. You just can't
I
write.
feel like
She
the
lets you
kid
read
would
it.
be would be like everything Andy has said is completely correct. I agree. I love you very much. And
All right.
Paw print.
Just
Paw
add that
print.
into the PS.
yeah.
PS paw print of your own. Yeah, nice.
And and I think Kit would absolutely insist on putting some dry jerky into the letter or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Like some
Snacks
rations.
are-
Yeah, snacks.
Snacks are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't leave, like, on this short notice, can't really find a dead mouse, and it's a bit, like, not great for, like, a 3-day journey. Might start rotting. So dry jerky is, like, the closest the kid can find to, like, dead mice.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's gonna become my thieves' cat. It's gonna be my snacks.
Yeah.
Fucking mice tails everywhere.
Yeah.
If
Arranged
I
in
place-
specific
if I place-
patterns.
Yeah.
Adding the nice whiff of dried jerky to the letter, to the envelope. Yeah.
They're very physical in communication, so I don't think the kid really
Wouldn't be
would
worthy.
care about letters. That's like a very abstract thing. Like, and here's
Yeah.
something concrete, like a paw print and snacks.
Paw print and some dried jerky.
Yeah.
And that way Grandma Thistle's going to get the letter and go, oh yeah, kid's fine.
And actually, like, I think the kids would like add an entire pouch of dry jerky as a here package. Bam.
Here's 13 pieces of dried jerky chunks. Don't count, just trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually only
But yeah,
11
outside
because
of
you've
some-
eaten 2 while you're putting the paw print on the piece of paper.
Well, no, I
Yeah.
mean, kid has gotten a lot of food from
Yeah.
the Stonehill, so
Yeah.
that's for this time it's actually really 13.
That sends the message. Oh, she's well fed.
I also feel that Andy will like overcompensate for Kit as well because Kit is not like
yeah.
adding that much. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
Kit is saying all these things that Kit actually didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what I wrote in my little short note is definitely a short, briefer version of it.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more asking about how is this and this gone and this has happened, but only the good things, right?
Only the good things.
Nothing
Don't
bad.
worry them. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of this is a near-death
How
experience.
Like,
would how would Andy seem while she's writing this? Because she's been a bit downtrodden. Does it seem like she's writing while she's writing is that she's like lighting up a bit?
Oh yeah, she definitely has. Like after the first, like after Mom and Pops, it's basically that just she brightens up. It's just the immediate stream of thought and message the writing where it's just her hand is flying. Just
So
very much
just to
right
point
now.
out, like, I mean, Kit is more like the physical person around Andy anyway, but like because both Lion and especially Lion are a bit more cerebral, you would certainly know that it's been she's brightening up, right? But like all of this has taken a toll on her as well, but you're not really quite sure in what way, right?
Insight check.
You can do an insight check, yes. I'm just hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Abel. You were gonna bring something up with Andy.
Not in front of everyone,
Okay, fair enough.
because he knows that's uncomfortable
Appreciate
for her.
it.
So
That's
that's definitely not the setting to do it. So hell no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I've moved
It-
my conversation with Garel tomorrow when it's not in a group setting.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah.
noted. That's very clear. No, this thing was just like kind of like just smile a bit more towards Andy in general, but just he will like, especially like if they got a little bit more attention from the townspeople, he would be like, just like shying away a little bit, but just kind of using that as a cover. Most importantly, he's just happy to sit with his friends.
Yep. And outside of the letter writing and like the only I think what Andy would talk about during dinner is basically check in health wise, how you guys are feeling after this busy day, especially nudge nudge poke the injured persons. How you doing? You've been walking around a lot, even if you somewhat stationary. Everything good?
Yeah, no, it's feeling good. I think. I mean, you and Alana both did a very good job. So
Alright.
yeah, no. Otherwise, struggling. No, not very. I'm fine.
All right. I mean, even if you are struggling, you can,
No.
I'm gonna look you over in the evening before bed again, just like yesterday. Alana can also help if you want, but
just to check.
just
I think it's worth
Just-
keeping an
yeah.
eye because some of those wounds were nasty, but
Mhm.
they seem like
They
they're
were.
healing well. So
Yeah.
And next time, maybe we'll see if we can get you to dodge a few of them.
That would be better. That would be
Right?
Great.
yeah. And if you continue taking hits like that, we need to beef you up a bit. All right.
Meanwhile, Kit going in the background.
Kid's like, what? People are talking? I'm eating.
Beef.
Beef? What beef?
You up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned
God,
beef.
it's just like real life. Like everyone else is talking about stuff, and I am hyper focused on my food.
Yep.
And
That's
people
a mood.
wonder,
Art,
Yes.
art imitates life.
It
Yeah.
does.
wonder why I'm finished so quickly. It's like, well, you were all talking, I was eating.
Yep.
Did you think so?
Absolutely. Priorities. But yeah. Other than that, I didn't have anything particular to talk about in character during the dinners. It was more just to check in with everyone, to see in character how everyone's doing, and
How is Ilana doing in character?
Yeah. Good question.
you know she doesn't like to talk about herself.
No,
This
but a little bit of nudging.
the situation went far better than she anticipated for her personally.
Anticipated.
She what?
Anticipated.
You need to get the wax out your ears.
No, you said I'm pretty sure it said anticipated.
Yeah, I'm with Shen on this one. I heard it as well.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
everything went fine. She did get into a little bit of melee combat, which was a little bit hair raising, but the defensive stuff Darren taught her managed to protect her, and she's asked him if she can work on more defensive stuff with him. Plus, she has also mentioned to Darren that she hasn't forgotten about the undead issue that is over Coneyberry Way.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And that she will likely see if she can investigate that, potentially with him, just scouting, not trying to resolve the situation, just figure out what the hell's going on, basically. But that was a couple of days ago now, and things have changed, so we've got different priorities as a group. Other than that, she's scoped out a hill in town, on the northern side of town, next to the miller, that she thinks would be a great spot for her building a homestead, tower, temple, academy, eventually. And the idea of linking it with Tresenda Manor through tunnels underground.
I love that idea. I mean, we already have some, well, we don't have large tunnels, but we have at least some secret entrances, quote unquote, now.
Yeah,
But,
the caves beneath it
yeah.
now. And it just kind of looking forward to the future. She's obviously at this point, you can see she's planning decades in advance in her head. But the idea of fortifying the town to ensure that the past doesn't repeat itself,
Like, in
because she knows
between-
all of the history.
While serving like more food and stuff for you guys, Toblin over here says, and he kind of like jokingly, he's like, "Oh yeah, and a castle and walls," and like he kind of like sees this more like as kids dreaming, not really to belittle you, but like,
Yeah,
Yeah, go
he's heard
for
it.
it.
He's heard it all before.
yeah, he's heard it all before.
As soon as just like when he says that, he's just like gives like a glance like you don't know what you're talking about. It's like that's not just dreaming. If Alana is talking about it like this, it's more than
It's
just
serious.
She's planning.
Yeah.
yeah. He's like gives like a little bit of a grimace, shakes his head.
She's got a few really good ideas on the groundworks that she can start getting going as well. So if people need time around town to recover from wounds, to do some research, to set anything up, then she has plenty of things to keep herself busy with too around town. So yeah, in her usual fashion, that's her answer to your question.
Not really how she's doing.
Of course not. That's fine for
Yeah.
now.
Also still in a public place, so you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're like Nurse will just nod along. It's like, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm more than happy to help out with that.
Well, your
Really-
carpentry skills will come in useful at some point, both on the manor and for the plans of building what I've got in mind.
Need to get a little bit, maybe someone that can work with masonry.
Yeah,
or maybe
and
can learn.
I think part of what we need to consider as well, we've obviously got a lot of stuff that keeps landing in our plates of things that need to happen. But at some point, we do need to take some time out to take the things we've gained already and arrange for sales. And some of those things are going to be in Neverwinter, more than likely.
Yes, we are never going to sell the shiny stuff,
No.
non-weapons. And yeah, that's never going to happen here,
And
which makes sense.
yeah, I know we're constantly on the push for time for doing other things, but at some point we're going to have to take time for ourselves to resolve our own things too. So a trip to Neverwinter is in the immediate future, I suspect. I think from my perspective, I'd like to resolve Agatha and that problem sooner rather than later, I think, because we've been delaying it for a bit of time already.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, let's face it, and she quietens at this point, the undead aren't going anywhere. So I think they can wait.
I want to point out that Darren pointed this out to you because he's worried that they will start coming closer to the town.
Yeah, but they are 2.5 days
Yeah.
away. Yeah. They're not going anywhere in the sense that I think we can afford to do the trip to Neverwinter after Agatha. and then deal with potentially the undead or the orcs or both, because they're kind of both in the same direction.
One of the things that I wanted to bring up if we're going towards Neverwinter. Obviously, we will get close to Helmshold, closer at least.
Yeah.
So wouldn't be bad to check in. The other thing that I wanted to maybe in that area is Thunder Tree. Because there
Rydolph
is,
or whatever his name is, right?
at least he is there. I'm not necessarily only for my own sake, well, partly because I'm very curious about someone else that knows this region, that is of the same persuasion as, well, Melvir, sort of.
Well, that might be one
but
of these
also
other groups that Gariel was talking about too, because there's a
Possibly.
number of circles in the woods. By the sounds of
And
it.
there's also the thing of the Narcissus,
Yes.
the shop,
Yes. The item.
You all know the item, yeah. So
Tree, yeah.
if I mean, I don't say that we have to do everything at the same time. It's just then we're going to be closer.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Mr. Creepy Crawly types up soon again, if there's going to be a timeline there, or if we, yeah,
Mr. Creepy
if
Crawly.
you guys know what I mean.
Like spider.
Spider.
Mm.
Yeah. Don't necessarily want to say the name out loud, but
He
Yeah.
shall not be named.
yeah, if he
Mr.
shall not
Creepy
be named.
Crawly is gonna be the to-go name from now on. Deal.
Yep.
If Mr. Creepy Crawly pops up soon again, if that's going to be a threat soon again, or if we can allow us some breathing time, some longer breathing time.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
have to wait and see.
And I think part of me
It's-
wants to do the Neverwinter trip after Agatha to give it that time to see if anything else happens.
Yeah, and
how we should
also
react.
you guys heard Garael today.
Yeah.
she's pretty keen on that being solved.
Yeah, I mean, we've already delayed it nearly 20 days, so...
That
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. Otherwise, I'd have to pay her a lot back for the books,
No.
and I don't have that money.
No. We will definitely do that first. I'm with Ilana, and I just thought to mention if we're
Yeah.
going to go towards Neverwinter, that might be.
And it makes sense
A
to
good
try and
opportunity
do
for it.
things in the same area whilst we're heading there anyway, to save on just constant travel time, ultimately.
Possibly. But if we are in Neverwinter and we have to go back or something, I'm not set on it. It's just thought I would mention it.
Yeah.
And I
Alright,
would
let's put it on
I
the
would like to
itinerary
go
for,
pass by Helmshold anyway if we're in that region. So
Yeah.
just a letter is nice. A visit
Yeah.
is better.
Yeah. And I think a visit's probably going to happen in a week's time. Would be my guess. Probably Neverwinter first. And then maybe Thunder Tree and Household on the way back.
Nothing just
Maybe.
at that.
That's kind of...
Yeah,
that
let's talk
sort
about
of
the
region.
logistics then.
Yeah.
Let's see if it, after or during Agatha, let's see if something happens then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good idea. I like it.
Certainly got plenty to keep ourselves busy with.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna step in here because I think it's been a trying evening for all of us. It's especially me with the technical difficulties. So because you guys have mostly written out what you plan to do over the next few days, and some of these things that I want to do, the conversation with Garel, I think this is more something I want me and Lena in private.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To give it time when you're not frazzled, because I think this is a very important thing. And I don't want this
Maybe text RP.
maybe
just
text
an idea.
RP, yeah.
Yeah, that
Just
would
to
be great.
give you,
yeah.
And yeah, so however, do you want to cover anything for this evening in particular?
Ilana would be bathing after having been exhausted the previous day before and all the fighting and the griming and all the rest of it.
Samesies, yeah.
So other than that, that's the
So
only
my
thing
itinerary
she
as well.
really planned on
Just
doing.
remind me,
Oh.
have you completed the Lion Shield cluster stuff?
Not yet, because you said it would
Not
take
yet.
a couple of days. But if we're
Okay.
going to time skippy a couple of days of all the things we've written
Okay,
down, the Lion
I will
Shield
then
Cluster is one of
summarize.
them.
Yeah, okay, I will
That's the
I will
priority.
update that
Yeah.
in the chat.
Because that gives us some money for.
Okay, so I will leave that
everyone.
like basically the stuff that you've written up. We will like adjust what we haven't done today, right? And Narcilium also you might want to adjust like the wolf thing because like
Mhm.
that changed.
Yep.
But otherwise we can handle it OOC. And I think it's a good way to like start next session just basically with you kicking it off on the way to Agatha's lair.
Yeah.
Yeah. But meanwhile, tonight, because the previous evening was more like you were still exhausted, still like the adrenaline pumping from the battle and getting settled.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, you were finishing the evening in quiet prayer.
Spending time with. The evening. Okay, after time with the golems. Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys had the dinner,
Mhm.
you did what you did. So I just want to skip forward a bit, like to where you all go to sleep, and that night. So,
Okay.
what are you praying about? For? Two?
I think after yesterday's evening, she spent praying for. After yesterday, she's prayed for just general forgiveness and for everything basically. Today she's praying for guidance. She's praying for that. She's basically opening herself up in her prayers that she doesn't know where to go. She doesn't have the knowledge on what the best steps would be for her. So she's praying for any signs of guidance.
Before we continue there, Narcilian or like Kit, you doing anything that night? I assume you all set up like within the Stonehill Giant. You kind of set up who's gonna do
Stonehill Giant.
Stonehill.
That's
Sleeping
later
Giant.
on down the line.
Dinner
don't
at
worry about it.
the Stonehill, sleeping at the
Sleeping
Giant
yeah.
because we arranged beds and
Yeah,
everything
yeah.
for everybody, and the Goblin and one of us on watch.
Do you
Basically.
care who's like in what order you're standing watch?
Not unless something happens.
Yeah, okay.
Not particularly, no.
No, okay.
Nope.
Marcelian, are you doing anything before going to sleep that's like important to know?
No.
The
Probably
wolf
the
has
only
eaten a tiny bit,
He's checking up with Ripper and
and he
during
seems
his
to be
watch-
happy to stay in the kitchen,
Okay.
and anywhere close to Willem. Actually, he's also like he's fine with Freya taking him out, but like he is happier to stay around Willem. It seems, and Willem.
Yeah, no, that
They're kind of like two lost animals recognizing each other at the moment. He's more than happy to take care of the wolf.
that's perfect. No, you will just talk briefly with Willem to like see how it was going during the day, and then if he needs something extra for
He'll be like
Ripper.
wiping his hands in his pants. It's like hesitating, and then giving you basically a report of like what they have done around the inn and the cleaning, and then going through like the supplies that he sorted, and like very like not what you asked.
Yeah, you just let him talk and just like nod along.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where like because you're nodding along and not really saying whether he's going the right direction, he just keeps adding on more things.
Just let him in the state for a little bit, and then just like no, this.
Yeah, because he's like you see at some point it's like repeating himself because he's not sure what he should say.
That's all right. Thank you, Will. It's just let me know if you need anything else with Ripper. Just yeah. Good night. And he
night.
walks out.
Oh,
And Willem is like,
an awkward bundle of words. Yeah.
"Ooh."
It's like as Lai walks out, like
Yeah.
it's like mouth
Yeah.
something to Kit, like sitting there. It's like awkward.
You're telling me.
This is
Yeah.
pointing back
Kit is
towards this, like,
you were the one
can
to
you
talk.
can you believe this guy?
Nah, it's-
But he does it with an amount of self-knowledge. He's like, yeah,
All right, as long as he knows.
as long as he knows. Yeah.
Okay, well, so Andy,
Mhm.
you go to sleep, and at night you have a dream.
Oh no.
It is shush! Stop pestering from the cheap seats. We'll start throwing things at you. You're ruining the moment.
Peanut gallery, shush.
Yeah, peanut gallery, shush. So, where was I? God damn it.
I have a dream.
You have a dream. It is familiar to some degree. You haven't had a dream like this in years. The last time you were not sure it was like if it was a fever fantasy or a dream or a vision at all.
Mhm.
And like in that dream or vision, two men sit at the same table and talk. Or rather, one is talking at another. One, the quiet one, is a slim, dusky-skinned halfling, dressed in simple brown and white. The other is a handsome, dark-skinned man in bright, resplendent colors. While the halfling is wearing simple robes, the man is wearing stylish clothes and ornate armor, more appropriate to a fantastic stage play than anywhere else. And the handsome man's voice resonates with the weight of ages as he engages in a conversation that spans the realms of existence, beyond human comprehension, beyond halfling comprehension, but understandable to you, Andy, for this one instance. Her prayers grow more fervent, says the handsome man, yet their essence strays from the path of enlightenment, he says. The halfling nods solemnly and remains silent while the other man continues. She seeks knowledge, yet her actions speak of a different intent, a path that seeks vengeance rather than understanding. She stands at the crossroads, the handsome man muses. To wield knowledge is to wield power, yet without clarity or purpose, it becomes a blade turned inward. Redemption is not easily earned, yet it is possible. But without understanding her own heart, she risks squandering the gift of the second chance she has given when she was a child. And with a heavy sigh and a sad expression on his handsome face, the man stands up and walks to the door behind which you are hiding, like a child would listening in on her parents. And before you can say or do anything, the man's touch seals the threshold, closing the door and locking you out. Elana! You had a blissfully dreamless night, like you always do. You're like one of those people who happily like go to sleep and don't really have dreams. It's like very unusual for you. You just sleep and you wake up. Occasionally you like remember like vague bits and pieces of something, but like you're just one of those people who like you probably dream but you don't remember them ever.
Too much else going on in.
Yes, you're way too busy remembering the waking hours when your mind is soaking everything up in precise nature.
Mm-hmm.
However, this night, and made because your mind touched on others, and you were too tired the previous night to truly truly feel the consequences of that. Tonight you dream. You open your eyes and you're like it's actually a very weird sensation to you because you are someone else in someone else's body, but also at the same time aware of that. You have no control. You have no influence. You're just a passenger inside this person's head. And heart pounding, you race through Sunrest's glittering streets, weaving between merchants and revelers alike. You're late because Master Maven is probably already at the top of the spire and about to test his newest spell, and if you miss it, you will never forgive yourself. The sun beats down as you dash forward, its rays gleaming off the alabaster walls of the buildings that tower on each side. You have never seen anything like this in your life as Ilana. Amidst the lively thoroughfares, merchant stalls overflow with exotic wares from distant lands. Pungent spices that stain the air with the perfume, iridescent silks that ripple like water in colors that are beyond nature, more vivid, it's like they are alive. Trinkets imbued with arcane power in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Laughter rings out as children frolic in the crystal fountains that grace every corner, their joyous voices mingling with the sorcerers of water falling, floating and intertwining in complex patterns in a way that no normal water can flow. High above, on platforms levitating amongst the clouds, the elite of Netheril indulge in lavish excess. Beneath canopies of shimmering silk, they feast on exotic delicacies, sip beverages that taste of magic. None of them even remotely are aware that what is about to happen. This is a historic moment, for your master. The culmination of months of intense study and experimentation. Maven's Meteors, he has named it. His ingenious twist in a now stale meteor swarm invocation. Up until now, it has only been theory, but today it will come alive. And you're about to miss it. The spire comes into view, you're dashing forward. The spire, impossibly high, its pinnacle wreathed in clouds. Somewhere up there, Master Maven awaits, preparing to unleash this spell and etch his name forever in the annals of Netherese history. You have to make it in time. Gulping down the air, you race towards the spire, and the promise of wonders waiting at its peak. Suddenly, a flash tears through the sky above, blinding in its fury. Thunder rolls across the heavens, and a sudden trembling seizes the floating city beneath your feet. From the fiery maelstrom swirling overhead, a low rumble emerges, resonating through Sunrest streets, shaking its very foundations. With an awful groan of rending metal and stone, the ground lurches violently. You stumble, grabbing onto a crumbling wall as the city tilts sickeningly. All around you, once stable buildings begin to crumble like sandcastles before a tempest. The street stones beneath your feet fracture and fall away into the void below. Terrified screams pierce the chaos as panicked people scramble for safety. But escape seems impossible. The city shudders, stone cracking, metal twisting and shrieking. You cling desperately to the remains of the walls as debris rains down. Shock freezes your blood as you behold the unbelievable, the unfathomable, the impossible. The city is falling. Sunrise begins to spiral downwards at an impossible speed, faster. Reality twisting, sickening around you. From the highest minarets to the lowest hovel, centuries of architectural glory disintegrate before your eyes. You stare upward in horror as a massive statue detaches from its plinth overhead. Heart pounding, you throw yourself out of its path as it hurtles past and swallowed by the void. The ground seems to race upwards impossibly fast to meet the plummeting city. This is the end. You close your eyes, awaiting oblivion, as Sunrest plunges into darkness. And right before you wake up, Ilana, inside that moment of nothingness, of the darkness, you hear someone sigh. And then someone else's chuckles. Pure glee and malice before you wake up. And this is where we call the session.
Nice. All right.
Rip.
Rip indeed. Fucking
I
hell.
will give you both the
Favorite
text that I
moments,
wrote afterwards.
Yes,
but yeah,
please. Yes, please.
favorite moments.
Okay. Number one, definitely the dream. Like I was prepared to say something else, but then you said the dream because I don't know why, if it was the atmosphere or the way you're talking, but when you generally said hiding behind the door like a child, I genuinely shivered because that just was so. I could just imagine it, the
Yeah.
scale of it.
The dreams are obviously a very big highlight because having a scene from Netheril, ancient magic and history described as something my character gets to witness is obviously absolutely cool.
For your context, OC, Sunrest was the first ever city that fell.
Floated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was also the first to be set to the sky as well. I think.
I don't know that. I don't think so. But like, it was the first ever city that fell.
Yeah.
That was unheard of. Like,
in an age where everything was possible, when nothing was impossible. Yeah, dreams definitely for me, I think, are high up the list. I did like the moment of us all just sitting in the tavern as a group and talking about.
Oh yeah,
stuff
that
like
was very
the
nice.
future plans and how we are and stuff.
Yeah. Before the dream, my favorite moment was the just a small little tidbit of Kit being like, oh, so what did the scene look like? Did he talk? What did the scene look like? And the general just waving aside. Oh, I don't know what it looked like. The murder scene.
Yeah.
Not me.
I'm very careful with stuff like that because of an experience I had in a previous game. Shin will remember Divinity. Right after
yes,
the torch.
yeah.
Instinctively, I'm very careful when I lie. Basically,
Yeah. Fair.
I lie by omission and
Yeah.
saying things that are technically true. I did know that he was murdered, but if I said any more, I might have heard Alana, roll an insight check, and I would be.
Oh. That's good. My insight's not great anyway, so.
You have to be careful for the passive insight that's going on.
All it takes is one bad roll from me, and my entire
story comes crumbling down. Yeah.
you know.
In fact, you guys, I'm gonna just give you the notes in Foundry. You will have a folder in the drawing stuff that is called Dreams, and I'm gonna make it just available there. Sorry, continue. I think Abel, your favorite moment.
Being awkward with Willem. I like Willem.
Yeah.
It's just like it's kind of like this reflection for Nisuni is like, oh yeah, that's what it's like. That's annoying, but also he knows where it's coming from, and he can kind of like also step outside of himself a little bit and just kind of just let him stumble over his words, so like, oh yeah, and try to learn from it as well. So that's cool. Oh yeah.
And Matt?
Matt, what's your favorite moment?
The dreams were solid. I wasn't expecting those. I enjoyed my amount of free meals that I got. The dreams, the meals, the chance to lie about my murders.
Getting into character.
The jerky edition, yeah.
The jerky edition of the paw print. The only other thing
Mhm.
I'd throw in there was Pox's ability to stand up and take charge.
Oh yeah, the goblins are very impressive in how they got everything done.
Yep.
They're taking it seriously, which is good to see. So, but also,
Well, they're
your
very like goblins in general. If you point them in a direction, they're like a rolling avalanche
Mhm.
that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
They're very good at hyper fixating on things,
yeah,
and then they
Oh,
get shit done really effectively. It's just that
especially if they know they're doing it for themselves.
I think it's a new concept to them, so this is why they're like very much taken to listening to Pox. They don't do very well on their own.
Yeah,
It's a
under
culture
direction.
where it's like embedded into them. It's like almost genetic at this point that they need some kind of leadership.
Yeah,
With the occasional exception, goblin who like takes charge, and this is why the bugbears usually take advantage of them
yeah.
or other creatures fearing full stuff
Orcs, hobgoblins. Yeah.
because they're weak, but they can be directed, and then they can become like formidable foe because numbers.
Mm.
Oh yeah. What was your favorite moment, Jenny?
Willem, I'm really enjoying playing up his awkwardness, especially because I have like Keegan in my head as the actor,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? So vividly from the Banshees of Inisherin, right, where he's like he really nailed the awkwardness of that person.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Right. So it was when I was like thinking about what Willem is like. It's like then I had like Keegan pop into my head. It's like, oh, this is perfect. I'm gonna use his face. So yeah, I like kids being like laying low. I like that, like, Nercillian was going around, let me talk to you about the wolf, and people like, what? Because he cares about the wolf, and the other people are like, yeah, there's like people dying. Couldn't care less about a wolf.
Oh yeah. And Nasilian basically Alana being Nasilian, you can take the lead with I don't know who it was, Silda or
With Sildar,
yeah,
yeah.
I think it was
And then
Silda.
Andy said something, and I was like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Say no more.
Yeah.
I still find it quite funny that we're trying to like rewild Ripper when really we could just turn him into a proper domestic wolf.
I mean,
Yeah,
no.
like that's where
That's
Andy's
not-
going all the
that's-
time. Like,
that's
do we want to
not-
make him a pet? Like, do we want to make him a pet?
No.
But also, like as much as Nercillian wants to, there's like clear, like he like this is what I told like Abel in a chat. It's like he doesn't really know anything about this, right? And even in real life, sometimes it fails. It's not always successful.
Yeah.
You don't always end up being successful in rewilding an animal.
No, sometimes
No,
this is why we have zoos ultimately.
Yes.
For the most part.
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
that's I definitely know, and like that's also why he said like that's the like in his mind that's the ideal situation, but he's like, but furthermore, like that's not something that I can offer him at this point, if it's even at all possible.
Yeah.
So he's very aware of the fact that it might like the best outcome for everyone might be that he's just a domesticated wolf. Which isn't great, but it's better than it was.
I bet you could reach a really good middle ground where even if he's left to his own devices for like a few days, a week or so, he'd be fine. Like he could go and scavenge himself, like take care of himself if needed.
A couple of goblins here, a couple of goblins there.
Yeah.
No, the
well,
problem is that like wolves don't do very well with other pack.
they're very much pack oriented. Like dogs are a little bit better at that, but even still, like they don't.
So him
they
being
don't
adopted
thrive
by
in-
what is effectively a pack
Dogs
of
replace
goblins.
the pack with people.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Yeah.
day.
And he doesn't know anything better, so he will probably. I will tell you right away. Like it is way more likely that he adopts like he just becomes like
Willem's bet.
Willem's pet and adopts the goblins as his pack, and that's basically it.
No, that's fine. I mean, that's better than it was, and he doesn't
Yeah.
die, and he doesn't like
Mhm. And he gets
He's
some
a-
sort of a life back
Yeah.
at the end.
a fat puppy anymore. So
Concerns about 2.5 days to Agatha's, though.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
We're
that's
gonna-
the next session problem.
We're going to miss
Um,
the union.
Yeah, we're gonna have to set up a lot of things before we leave.
When is Mother's Day? On the 10th?
Mothering Sunday is the 10th of March this year.
Okay, guys,
We
when is
are-
Mother Day in your countries?
Yeah, not sure it's a thing in the
Yeah,
countries.
it's like, I don't know.
It's a very
I forgot.
English thing as far as I know.
No, there is Mother's
it-
Day in Austria as well.
for us, it's the Mother's Day. It's like in May, 12th of May.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I remember it being May.
Okay, well, UK Mother's Day is on the 10th of March.
Not next weekend, but the week after.
The week after.
We
So
are occupied.
we are kind of invited
yeah,
to a whole
12th
bunch of
May
things.
for us.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call it now, just a fair warning. We are having a session next week, but on the 10th we're kind of skipping.
Mm-hmm. So
Alright.
plenty of
Put it into
opportunity.
the dates
Yeah.
channel.
Yeah.
I will do that.
All right.
With any luck,
Yeah.
we resolve Agatha, and then we can do lots of text typing.
I
Yeah.
may be late
Next week.
Sunday.
Okay.
I'm going to my nephew's birthday party up at Fort William.
Okay,
Cool.
yeah. That's not something you can delay. So yeah.
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 When
I have said
when you say
Uh,
late, are you planning to try and duck it to get back early? AKA, you
No.
should probably just skip it, or
no. So I've said to my brother, like, I have college or I have uni on the Monday when they're like everything's supposed to be like coming back home.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I need to be back on the Sunday anyway. It's just a case of
Yeah,
it's like a 3-4 hour drive.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Sure. I mean,
good.
I may be late. I may be able to join while on the phone. We'll see.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Alright.
Just poke us and let us know.
yeah,
how you
focus and let
feel.
us know, because like you will have a 2-day journey to Agatha, so we don't have to rush it
Yeah.
right away.
And we
right?
can always start a little bit later if you need us to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, starting
Yeah.
later would also be fine.
Since we're already talking dates, the 17th is I'm gonna be here, but I'm gonna be a bit awkward because the 16th is my sister's birthday, so I'm gonna go visit a family,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm staying for Sunday too, so I'm gonna be set up in a room that I'm not used to with stuff, so it's gonna be a bit awkward. Maybe
Okay,
some tech
okay.
issues, but just
Okay,
letting you guys know.
yeah.
With any luck, we've dealt with Agatha, and we can just do some talking through the City of Neverwinter trip and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then that way we don't have to
Yep.
worry too much about techie issues and stuff. So.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Well,
All right.
then.
I'm gonna get dinner.
Sounds good.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have a nice
fine.
dinner
evening,
time.
guys.
Yeah.
Dinner time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.